How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Good to see you, gentlemen, man. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully everybody weekend was a good weekend.
Fellowship.
Yeah. Good weekend?
Yes, sir. Great weekend.
That sounds right. Y'all still recovering? Any hangovers?
Nah, no hangovers.
Okay.
We done cut the drinking all the way down.
Okay. Like that hoodie, man. What kind of hoodie is that, Trail?
Man, I just be grabbing hoodies, bro. I don't even know what it says, bro. If I like the color, I snatch it. Make sure I don't say nothing weird, but you know what I mean? Like I just be grabbing them.
Okay.
Appreciate it though.
Like you trying to match up them J's, huh?
Hey man, you already know how that go. I done developed a liking the J's, man. It took me forever to get on board, but I'm here now. Yeah. And I be getting the homies mad when because I've mastered the art of buying them same day from Nike. So I will screenshot you that got them too.
Okay. Well, I don't know, man. I don't think people buying J's like they used to no more. Is it just me?
Yeah.
Still on.
They still be selling the right ones.
Them lines be crazy still, man.
Okay. I don't know, man.
Depend on the shoe. They got a lot of them that sit, but
yeah, I know it's a lot of them starting to sit. It used to be everyone was gone, but now that someone's starting to sit. I think people hopping on those New Balances now.
Oh,
young kids, no thanks.
New Balances, not the Kawhis.
No
way, right?
No, man. I got some heat, man. Especially those collabs, man. Like the 9060s are one of the most comfortable.
Oh, okay.
New Balances.
I used to like the 574s, man, with the little reflector on it. Them joints was super comfortable.
I have no idea what y'all talking about.
The reflector New Balances?
I wear Nikes. I got a couple pair of Pumas, but mainly Nike Jordan.
Yeah. Well, the Puma driving shoes is always a hit for me. So,
yeah.
Okay. I know Viz and Hink pretty quiet. They're still rocking the K Swiss. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Hink look like he got some shell toes, man. I don't know.
I got some. Hey man, I got me some tree thorns, baby. I don't know what y'all talking about. I got some tree thorns.
No, not the tree thorns.
Hey, I don't know if I grew up on Jeepers, bro. So you know what I mean. I'm happy to be able to buy what I want to buy now. Like you know what I mean. The Jeepers, the Ahas, the you know what I mean. Payless type joints. That's what I grew up on. So
those Payless was the Pro Wings, man.
I never had the Pro Wings. But I've definitely seen some Pro Wings. I couldn't do it. I ain't do no Pro. I had you know what? When I started getting my game up, it was like Felines.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I thought I was doing something.
I had every pair of Felines I liked. Man, remember them Grant Hills, Joe? Like, listen, I ain't gonna front. I was rocking Felines heavy. Hey, do y'all remember the joints that had the ball on the back where dude was dunking and the bottom of it was like it was him dunking, but the back of the shoe had the hand and the ball on it. I'm about to put them in the chat. Y'all gonna remember what I'm talking about.
Hey man, I had some of them kangaroos. I kept my lunch money in there.
Oh, I had kangaroos, bro. I used to put I only had coins. I never had $1, but I would put my 15 cents in there. I remember the kangaroos, bro.
Well, see, that's how much the lunch cost back in. About 35 cents.
Hey, y'all niggas old as hell, man. That's a blessing.
That backhanded compliment, man.
I was gonna say, B, if you look just as old as us, I don't know what you talking
about. Oh man.
Speaking of old, man, somebody got a little older this past Saturday, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
Who might that be?
Oh man, one of our great content creators out here in the space, JR.
Hey, are we going to do a shot Beef? Or what?
A shot? I want to do a shot.
Now.
Yeah, I definitely want to do a shot. At some point before the show is out.
Yeah,
I'll go get one. At some point, I ain't throw a shot back for you.
He said, I ain't singing.
No, I want you singing, Hinkley. I don't want you don't want no records back there, man.
Yeah, I got that old Stevie Wonder Happy Birthday album. I can throw that on for you. I got you.
All right, man. Halftime. We're gonna go ahead and get the show started, and then we'll take a little pause halftime. So y'all can get y'all a little shot in between, and then we'll go ahead and toast it up. Let's see, what time is it? Let's toast it up at the top of the next hour. So 11 for some folks, 12 for the others.
What you sipping on, JR?
Man, I got a selection, man. You know, probably what we got up in there.
Now we saw some brown just now, man. We saw you put a glass down. That's what he was talking about.
This is a little something light, man. It's like some Listerine, man.
Yo, JR, I'll send you something if it's that bad, man. We don't want you drinking Listerine, brother.
Hey, alcohol is alcohol, man. I got the one that didn't say alcohol free, so I'm all good. Okay.
I guess I'll open up this little shot glass joint.
Okay, make sure you wash it out now. Make sure you wash it out now.
Hey, speaking of, hey, JR, you still got that Wolfer Reserve?
Yeah, man. It's I still got some left, man.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Look, that's my go-to when I'm in the shot. So you got to kind of spread the wet a little. That's a nice little shot. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
The bullet in there.
Yeah, somebody shot through it. That's gotta be some Chicago shit for sure, man.
Yeah.
Was that
Damn. I set myself up for that shit. Hey, man, my baby bought me these a long time ago.
Jake, you said it's an O-Block shot glass?
Yeah.
We out.
That's what they give away at the Friendsgiving. Up on 63rd is what they doing.
Hey. Y'all know on the west side. I don't know nothing about out there.
It's good to see you guys, man. Angela, Shannon Duncan. I seen Precious in the house. Amelia Johnson, August Knights going on. That's Simone in the house. The Legacy. Amira Thompson. Danielle Berry Sport Highlights. Welcome to everybody. Furious Styles. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We got an excellent show ahead for you guys. I'm looking forward to it. So make sure you mute up and hear some feedback. Got an excellent show. Do black men secretly resent black women? Do black men secretly resent black women? A lot of noise going around in the space. You got the little Fugazi situation. Even some of the panels, man. I mean, the women are feeling a certain type of way. Your men are aggressive and y'all are running women off the panels and they don't feel safe. What's wrong with y'all, man? Do y'all resent black women? That's the question. Do you guys know how to operate around women? When women is in an area, do you know how to just catch a vibe, or are you just the oddball out of the group? Somebody give me some heat. I don't know who it is. It might have been you, Law. No, that's not true. Somebody else. Who is that? There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and do a deep dive, man. I do have some points that people brought to my attention. You know, they want us to discuss as well. I got a few clips, but we're gonna really dive a little bit deep into this, man, because it seems to be an ongoing issue as far as if black men secretly resent black women. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. Shout out to Marcus, man. He sent me this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run this clip and we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. All right. I'm gonna break it up into two parts. Let's do it.
Writer, I was born ready for voicemails.
Born ready. That was Lance Stevens' nickname in high school. That's a great nickname.
Definitely.
Yo, what's the word, gang? It's CJ from Texas. I've called before, but I got a whole new scenario that just happened this weekend that I kind of need y'all opinion on. So, boom, me and gang outside. We about 5 deep, you know what I'm saying? We at the clubs, and it's let out. So, you know what that means? It's POP time. It's parking lot pimping. So, we going around, you know what I'm saying, approaching shit, walking shit down, getting our little 1v1s, our 2v2s off, getting our numbers up. We happen to see a group of women that we've dealt with in the past, and they see us, so they come over. And we chopping it up and shit, you know what I mean? They ask us what we doing after this. We say, we on what y'all on. So, They like, all right, yeah, cool. Come back to the crib. We got bottles and shit there. We finna turn up. All right, bet. But one of the girls say, just don't bring your homeboy Mac. Now, I know my nigga Mac can be on some scared of hoe shit sometimes. But I'm like, damn, like, my nigga Mac can't pull up. She dead. So, all right. I told my nigga Mac, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the hoe say you can't come. We're going to go ahead and make this little move. Long story short, we go over there, you know what I'm saying? And complete the mission, had a good night. But my nigga Mac was mad at the whole squad the next day. Now, in my opinion, it's plenty of fish out in this sea, so you can go ahead and try to find you something, you know what I'm saying, for the night, get you a little cuddle session or whatever it is, right? But nigga, he was mad at us. Now, question number one is, are we wrong? And number two, have y'all ever been in a position where you had to tell your homeboy, like, hey, ho, say you can't come?
Well, let me start by saying this. From my experience, again, I'm a little older. If the person is mad that the women said they don't want him there, and y'all went ahead and still went and linked up with the ladies and had a good night, and they mad, that nigga's a hater. Because any of your homies, they gonna laugh at it. They gonna be like, damn, why they want me to come? Like, yo, nah, they said you be wilding, you be scaring the ladies, they be getting scared, you be doing too much. A real friend would be like, all right, cool, y'all go ahead, have a great night, hit me, like whatever. And then you go home and you figure out like, damn, I'm scaring the women, like, I gotta change. I can't be acting like that. I gotta change. I gotta switch up. Like I don't want to be the one that's left out of the, the night where the girls like we going back and hanging out with them and they like, nah, he be tripping. Like, so if he's mad about that, you got to look deeper into that friendship with homie because he's the one that's he want the whole. If he can't get none of the homies can't have fun. You don't want to be around friends like that. That's just an early sign of somebody is just a hater. From my experience.
Yeah.
I'm just only speaking from my point of view. A person like that, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That nigga's a hater. But I'm surprised Mac ain't show up.
Yeah,
shut the whole shit down.
But that's the thing, Ma. A man like that, like if you taking context clues, why would he go back? A man that's scaring the hoes, you scaring the hoes so much the hoes said you can't be around. You think a nigga like that gonna go back and reflect on what he possibly could have did? No, he ain't that type of nigga. He's a scare the hoes kind of nigga. He gonna scare his friends too.
Yeah, but
Freddy Krueger.
And you might be right. He might be that type of person. But it's like you got to understand that energy of him being upset because women said he couldn't come over, like couldn't come to the crib. Like if he's mad at y'all for going, he's a hater. He's supposed to be happy, laugh at it like, damn, my baby, I was tripping last time we hung out with them. I can understand why they don't want me there. Mm-hmm. But you can't be mad at the homies for going to complete the mission and have a great night with some women. Like that's the whole point of going outside. We going to the club to meet women and have a good time. Like,
well, he probably don't come into contact with women unless his homeboys is bringing him around anyway.
That's true. You need to leave that pit bull in leave him in the house. If you don't know how to act around women, you can't hang out with me.
Well, then how
homeboy
do you?
Or not.
The second part is he obviously was offended and made a big stink about the next day. How do you talk to him?
You had that conversation like, bro, a big stink.
A big stink.
Don't ever tell me a nigga had a big stink.
Big stink.
Now have that talk with your friend. Like let him know, like, yo, bro, like you gotta chill. Like we be going out and the women, you too aggressive, you keep pulling your gun out. Like, nigga, the women don't want to see that. You scaring them. Like you supposed to have fun, crack some jokes, be respectful, but we gonna have a good time. Like if your friend is not receptive to that type of conversation, cut your losses now because he's gonna end y'all up in a bad position.
When people say
let's go ahead and get into it, man. I'm gonna go to you, Marcus. I know you was really highlighting this and driving this on. Go ahead. What you got for us?
Yeah, no. When I seen that clip, a couple things came to mind. Like I've been in situations when I was younger, right, where we had one of the homies, and he just, before you go out what type, like he want to fight. You know what I'm saying? He don't know how to just chill and catch a vibe and just relax so we can have a good night. Now, do you think that you bogus if you tell your homie that he gotta stay back while you complete the mission, or y'all complete the mission, or should you just be like, man, fuck them girls, we gonna ride with our guy and everybody go home dry for the night?
Go ahead, Law.
Wait, you asking?
Right.
I thought you was gonna answer. We already knew that was the question. That was obviously the question. You just asked it again.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if y'all got the question or not.
Hey,
yeah.
Look, man. Look. The reason why he can't go is because he got an attitude the next morning because he couldn't go. That's the type of energy he gives off. You're going to have attitude because you couldn't go with the bros. Bro, listen. They didn't want you there. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reason for it. You didn't get chose. I'm not going to even have a conversation with it. I'm not going to talk about it the next. I don't care. You in your feelings, bro. Go find you some business. That's why you couldn't come anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's why you had to stay at home because of this type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are showing exactly why they said he can't come because you sitting up here still tripping about it. You're supposed to have something going on anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying, bro? You can't. Don't get mad at me because they ain't choose you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
All right. Did you want to answer it and get your point on it, Marcus?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going. We definitely gonna kick it, buddy. Ass gonna have to figure that shit out. Because if that's the type of energy you moving with, you fucking the vibe up. And if like she said, if it's difficult to have a conversation with you, like, bro, chill the fuck out. Then yeah, we need to reevaluate this because back in them days, everybody I had you put teams together like, yeah, I can see XYZ. When they call, we gonna get up with do. If I can't put you on the team, then shit, it ain't really no sense of you going to. We can go hoop or something, but when it comes to this, we gotta leave you up out of there.
Yeah, I do want somebody to kind of answer too, because it is a time where I think some men just have an aggression towards women, a weird energy that they give off when they're around women, and I don't think they can't help it. And even when you have a discussion with them, they don't even really see what they really doing. They just bring this. They just kill the whole vibe when you going out. They irritated. They complain about every little thing, man. I don't know what it is, but maybe one of y'all can go ahead and answer. What you got on this, Darwin? We can't hear you, just so you know. Something's off. No, we can't hear you at all. All right, I'll come back to you. Go ahead, Viz.
And dudes that behave like that, man, they hurt. Somebody hurt their feelings. They fell in love with some girl out there. He thought he was in love. He was raw dogging her. Fucked around, found out law was cracking her too. Now he hates the world.
Not me.
You know what I'm saying? Now you mad at the world. Now you want to pick a fight with everybody. Now you got a point to prove. So yeah, dudes like that, I never hung out around. I never hung around them just because you bad energy. You know what I'm saying? If we all on a mission where we going out, to go kick it, woo, I don't want to have to worry about you, you know what I'm saying, watching you kick off a fight with somebody else. Now we all got to scrape. It's pointless if we ain't on that night. You know what I'm saying? So dudes like that, you got to stay clear of them. And just like bro was saying, man, them be the ones that are backdoor you. They plotting, they scheming behind the scenes, pocket watching, the whole shebang. So you gotta be aware of how people conduct themselves, not only in private but especially in public. Because even if he is one of them type of dudes, let's say he spazzed out on somebody's sister, now you got to watch your shoulders, you know what I'm saying, because you with dude, you don't know who looking after him. So in situations like that is just as we tell men to vet women, you absolutely got to vet the people that you surround yourself around.
All right, go ahead, Hank. Who was that? Kenny, you wanted to say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, look. I mean, if that's the situation, if even the hoes don't want to be around you. I mean, I'm sure these ain't no upstanding type chicks. You know, they some 20 minutes get the fuck on type chicks, and then they don't want to be around you. God damn, what is it saying about your partner? Yeah, I think I have to agree with like Via said. You got to reevaluate your friendship. You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to reevaluate your friendship. If they come off scary like that, you ain't gonna really be able to go nowhere with it for real. Because if we go into a club and all of a sudden the women are there, we try to press up on him, and all of a sudden he's acting this way, we can't even hang out and shoot ball because girls gonna be on the courts too. They gonna be there watching the dudes, and then we go where maybe between games try to put a bid in or something. He over acting silly. Come on, man. Let's play this next game. Well, hold on, dude. We trying to see what's out here watching us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you might have to reevaluate the friendship with this dude. I mean, I don't know. I hope it's not like what Via said. The man was hurting. Found out another one was knocking his old lady down, and now he's hateful like it. But I can see some cats like that around in the earth like that. I mean, it's very well possible. But yeah, me as knowing myself, I would have to reevaluate him and say, hey, look, if y'all gonna hang around him, y'all hang around. But when he's around, I'm not gonna be around. I'm not gonna sit there and say, hey man, since I ain't with him, y'all can't be around. I don't move like that. I'll just steer clear. This is myself from if he's hanging around, you know what I'm saying, and do my own thing. A true gangster roll solo. I have no problem with go out there and go by myself. I go to a club by my goddamn self if I have to and come up with what I come up with. But yeah, I would definitely have to reevaluate the friendship with that dude for real.
All right, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this clip and then I'm gonna go to Darwin.
Directed you, Demar. When girls say this is scare the hose type energy, I know like the thing that comes to mind is like the like gangster with the gun, all that shit. But like, what's like a normal guy version of that? You know what I mean? Like, what's the energy that they give off that makes the women be like, no? Not someone that's like, yo, I got a gun, or like, yo, I'm here to punch someone.
He's standing by the bathroom door when she go in there.
So it's just like the lingerer.
You know that nigga.
It's multiple things. Like it's scaring the hoes is easier than y'all think. Like it's easier than y'all think, and it's multiple things. Different things is scary to different women. If I'm thinking about,
yeah, it's easy.
Scan the hoes.
Oh, so easy. Oh, so easy.
Baby, did you was scared just now?
No, nigga, breath was hot as fuck.
No, I
was taken aback. Anyway,
I was taken aback.
No, but if I say like me, let's say me, Kellen, Naya, Rocks, like okay, we're out, right? We're all beautiful, like we're out. Dudes that scared of hoes is like dudes that's too aggressive, like they're too like just you're too in your face and too aggressive, and or if we're someplace with loud music and you keep trying to talk to me and you're making it a thing, and I'm like obviously kind of like not. Not giving you play, not paying attention.
He keep asking you why you acting shy.
Yeah, shit like that. Yo, why you ain't smiling?
Oh God, that's disgusting.
Or a nigga that's too
why you sitting so far away from me?
Yes, that's too masculine. Like you're too masculine, but not in the way that we like you to be masculine, right? So the way we like you to be masculine is when you're out with a group of girls and it's only like one or two guys and it's like you got a whole bunch of beautiful women with you. You go in, you make sure that we're comfortable, you make sure that we're good, and we're gonna have a good night. We're gonna talk to you. We're gonna dance with you. Whatever. But if you come on you too aggressive with the flashing of the money, or you're aggressive with the server or the bottle girl, or you just trying to assert yourself to prove that you're masculine and you're manly, but it just shows that you're really not, you're really insecure. Why are you yelling at the server? Why are you arguing with the bar back? Like, why are you trying to, you trying to fight with the dudes next to us and it's a pissing contest. That's scaring the hoes too.
Yeah.
This is what I always think of when I hear scaring the hoes, this meme.
Oh my God. Terrifying the hoes.
I love this photo so much. It's so funny.
It's so crazy how photos can be taken out of context.
Obviously,
and the narratives that can be created around just a simple photo.
But that shit is because ain't nothing she ever said.
All right, go ahead, Dar. Oh, we can't hear you. I heard you before. I don't know what you did. No, we can't hear you.
I don't know what it is, Darwin.
All right, go ahead, Kenny P.
I don't even see Darwin. Where's Darwin at?
You don't see him?
He right below you.
Oh, there he is. I'm tripping. Never mind.
Oh man.
I'm thinking, I'm tripping.
Yeah, we got to get a damn optician on the damn panel. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, this is an interesting topic. The guy that doesn't know he's the problem in the room. Friends can't pretty much reel him back and help him adjust certain things. 1, 2, 3, then you start having to make space, and then he's wondering why you're not inviting him to things. Everybody got stuff that they need to work on. If that is someone that you truly care about friend-wise, you'll try your best to help him make the necessary adjustments to chill out. Or tell him he got to roll dolo because you're not going to be the best thing conducive to a healthy chill-out session. Don't want you to wild out. Then next thing you know, everybody looking for bail money because they rock with you. No girls want to come over because you could be that guy like who's homie in Players Club that was having the bachelor party. That type of guy. No. I think all the brothers up here said the right things. If it can't be a corrective action, you actually have to make space for you as well as other people because you don't want to be associated with that type of energy and the bad things that come with it.
All right. Go ahead,
But Kenny, in that situation, are you so you gonna leave a homie behind, or what you gonna do in that situation?
Now, if you with the homie, you would actually have to excuse yourself from your fun. If you really cared about your homie, your night is over. If you see it's not going right, you're not gonna just look out for yourself, but you're gonna make the necessary adjustments moving forward. That your homie gets home or wherever else he needs to be rather than there. And then you reassess moving forward how you rock with homie. If that behavior can't be corrected, you have to actually exclude him from certain functions, like other people said.
Odd man out.
That's it.
Gotta go home. Odd man out. Gotta go home.
Trev, what you doing?
Oh, all right. So I think we missed a lot of nuances here. So there's a lot depending on the situation. If it's just me and the homie, right? It's just us two, and the situation go down like that, then yeah, we on. You know what I mean? We gonna ride out because it's a bad night. You don't leave the one homie buzz. That's just not how I would do it. I've helped out a lot of cats in situations like this, man. I done loaned dudes fits. I'm like, nah, where we going? That ain't gonna work out. Here, man, go ahead, get this right. You know what I mean? I tried to, for real, for the homies, I did that. I done smashed a couple joints I should have never did because I would grab the piranha out of the group who was really with the nah, but I would know how to wear it down so everybody else get their shit off. Like, I've done that, right? So I tried to help out the homies. There's some dudes, and we make it seem like they're only talking about the dude who's just aggressive. They talking about a dude who's basically socially awkward, right? Especially that second part of the video. Some dudes just don't get it, right? They don't understand social cues and they don't realize what's going on in real time. So that's going to be detrimental to your whole group. You have to kind of know what you're dealing with. Because I had some dudes who was just too street to be in certain places and they wouldn't do anything right. I done had it to the situation. I had joints in the whip popping off already, right? We ain't even lead a joint. And then he came knocking on the window, messed the whole shit up. I had to go get two new other joints. And then he blew that shit because he like, yo, what's up with me? I'm like, God damn. Because we came in one whip. So it was what it was, right? So he messed up 2 situations in one night. I'm like, damn. So, and chased away like 5, it was 5 joints he chased away. So I was like, all right, look, this is what we're going to do. I'm not bringing you like there. We're going to go to like a hole in the wall joint and he'll be in his comfort zone. Like he might be able to even lead a situation like that. So it's not like, cause I really do believe that there's somebody for everybody. It just depends on what type of environment they're in. There's some of us who got that universal pimping where we could just kind of get our shit off no matter where we at. Right. But not everybody's like that. So I know my friends, anyone who I'm going to go out with, I kind of know how they conduct themselves. I try not to go out too much with cats that really ain't off it. Right. Because it don't make sense because you can predict that that's going to happen. You already know what type of vibes is going down. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've done pointed out chicks. I was like, yo, her right here, you could get her. Like that type shit. So you should know how your homies is going to perform. And if he's not going to perform well, then you don't need to be going out with him to certain places. It shouldn't happen a lot, right? It shouldn't be like a frequent thing. You should know where his comfort zone is. And if it's just that, where he just ain't good nowhere and he don't get it and you can't learn the homie, then you probably should just go play pool together.
Yeah,
if that's how y'all gonna bond.
Trev, they didn't go out, Trev. The girls called. So what happened?
No, they was out parking lot pimping. They had just left the club.
Yeah,
they left the club and they was parking
okay.
lot pimping. That's what he was talking about with PLP. So that's the joint let out. Y'all see, that's the easy.
Oh,
that's
right.
like that's like fishing. That's like fishing a barrel, right? You already know they leaving. Now it's just like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? You find out who and you pick them out and you try to team up as much as you can. If you got 3, then you look for a group of 3. You know what I'm saying? And then you just kind of see where the vibes go and you let the chicks choose. One of the biggest mistakes, a lot of guys will try to be like, oh, I got to get the best one. A lot of dudes will feel entitled to that. And I seek that too. But your best bet is to let them choose and everybody going to slide. A lot of people just don't understand. It's supposed to be a whole team effort when you go out. Like y'all supposed to be like a military little platoon squad. Like y'all go out there and you doing this, you doing that, and y'all all make it work together. That's who you should be going out with. Y'all got to have that synergy to where y'all don't even have to talk. Y'all go, all right, you already know what it is. We going to get them. That's how it's supposed to roll. If you got an awkward dude, then y'all need to go bond in places where you're not trying to get females. I'm not going to put myself in a position where it's like, oh, I'm going to let homeboy ruin my night. You know what I'm saying? Either way, like if you really do this, you should have a little backup to hit up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it go. It's not, I don't see why people would be in this situation a lot. It happens, but it should not be problematic to where it gets in the way of your friendship. Once you understand it, they just don't dig it. They don't know how to be around females, then don't be around females with this guy.
Yeah, but Trey, where you gonna go at there's no females at though? If you go out after hours, there's very few places you're gonna be able to go where there's no females. So he's just gonna be asked out. You know what I'm saying? And because you got a situation where
I'm talking about I'm not trying to dodge females. I'm not trying to go in a place where there's a sausage fest, right? But I would just you could just bag a number and hit her up later type shit. Whereas you're not all trying to end game like on the spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it like that, where you're not like the end game is not, all right, we need to all smash. If I fuck, we all gonna fuck. It's not that, right? We not trying. Don't do that with those type of homies. You go ahead, you slide, you run down, you grab a couple numbers, you put them in the stash. That's how you do it. You don't be out here like, oh, I need to smash tonight type shit. Not with a homie that you know ain't gonna get to the goal line. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the dude's not even your homie. He's a friend of the homie. You understand? I'm homies with his friend. But his friend, I'm not a homie with him. So
yeah, but that ain't the situation. You creating a new situation. That's the homie. In this situation, that's the homie.
So in this situation, these chicks was ready to go. It was no get numbers. I'm knocking down later. It's time to go now. Like you said, this is an adventure end game. We about to finish them. So then you gotta sit there and look at your homie like, this motherfucker here gonna fuck it all up. So hell no.
He's gonna have to eat that one. He's gonna have to eat that. He's gonna have to eat that one. In that particular case, he's gonna have to eat that one. But I'm wondering why you should even be in that type of. Why should you be in that situation? He had to eat that one. And if I don't hang around cats that would get mad like that, that's crazy. Why would you be like, oh damn, yo, like that's crazy? It don't make sense to mix it up with cats like that. You know what I mean? Because if anybody who you trying to execute, it's like soldiers, right? You're not gonna go in there with nobody who gun shy. If you know you out here about to get busy, you don't bring dudes that is not going to be conducive to the mission. So if you got a cat like that, you got no business hanging with him.
In that scenario, that's not what it was. So if we got to go based on that scenario said that's not what it was. He was mad at piss off. That's why I sit there and said, you got to reevaluate the friendship. You got to reevaluate that friendship and have to come with Jesus with this man. Hey man, why do they feel like you like this, dog? Well, you ever thought about that? You ever question yourself? You know, why are they coming at you like that? Why do you think they not inviting you to certain things, events or parties or situations? You need to look in the mirror, have a come to Jesus moment or something. Either that, else, man, you can't roll with us. Because I'm not going to keep on dry dicking because this motherfucker next to me.
That's facts. But one thing that I definitely look at it as is, what's that old saying? You could take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Listen, bro, we here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't close the deal, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta live with that. We closing deals. You know what I'm saying? They signing the paperwork right now. You know what I'm saying? We out. Like if you can't close the deal, better luck next time, bro. I'll holler at you tomorrow. And any man that's gonna get mad at you about that, that's why you can't go. That's what they talking about. You on that weird ass energy. You doing weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like, come
But
on,
Law,
man.
why keep a dude like that around? That's what I'm saying.
It's not
I
because
can't
he's
keep
probably
letting
good
you
for
be
other things, bro. That ain't my
What if he's
fault. I
solid
don't.
in every other facet though? Like shit, you can trust a nigga with your money. Like if you need the loan for money, you know he gonna pay it back, or vice versa. If you get in a fight, you know he gonna fight with you. If whatever happened, he'll help you out of the body, damn near. But
him getting his dick, what ain't got nothing to do with me.
So okay, but then I can't look. I guess in that situation, what are you talking about? And I could agree with that. Anytime I know we about to go out and mingle with the opposite sex, yeah, dog. Don't even call Tone. Let Tone stay home.
I don't know if this has happened multiple times. I don't know how many times this happened, but if this has happened multiple times, to where the hoes like, well, the females like, no, you know what I'm saying? Don't bring buddy with you. Then if that's the case, he can't be solid all the way around. You know what I'm saying? It gotta be something else about him that's like, man, bro is a little sketchy, you know what I'm saying, under this act. You know, it has to be something if this is constantly happening with women. If we go out 3 times, then and all 3 times we 0 for 3 because each time they like, man, don't bring buddy with you. Then hey, it's something going on with dude.
How could that happen 3 times, right? Because I had homies that just couldn't run their mouth. I told them to shut up. Let me do the talking. Don't say nothing, bro. Just smile and nod. Just be in there, look cool and shit. Get your little b-boy stance on it. Chill. Don't say nothing. Like that's not difficult. Just don't say nothing. Like that. How hard is that?
No,
and it worked. It worked.
You know how something, Trev, you know how something gets on, man. When you feel like you son and motherfucker, they not gonna go for that. Just be quiet, shut the fuck up, like you the goddamn daddy. They not doing that.
Bro.
If he's already aggressive and angry already, and you gonna tell this overly aggressive, angry motherfucker just to shut the fuck up and be quiet, he not gonna hear that. He gonna try to.
It ain't no way. It ain't no way. I'm going out.
He gonna try to fucking prove his manhood.
This is talking about this the third time. This the third time I'm going out with homie. For me to be going out with a homie a third time, I feel very comfortable speaking my mind. Or anybody who I know that I keep in my circle that I would go out to hit the town with for the third time, we cool. I can talk to you. You can receive what it is that I'm saying. And I'm not going to say shut the fuck up. I'm just going to be like, yo, bro, just chill. I got this. I'm a quarterback. And all you got to do is look cool. That's how I'm gonna spit it. And he just gonna sit there and look cool. And if he can't get down like that, you can't go out with me a second and third time, Fizz. Ain't no way. It ain't happening 3. It's never happened, right? Yeah, no, and it never would happen, right? That's wild. The third time, you gotta listen, man.
Hold on, let me get Shan in there. Go ahead, Shan.
Fuck them bitches. I see right now I'm not hanging out with Law, Marcus, Hink, and Viz. I'm not fucking with them. I'm not going out with them niggas. We ain't partying, we ain't kicking it. Trev and Kenny, that's my niggas. I'm riding with Trev and Kenny. We going out. You know, camaraderie amongst men is at an all-time low. And the lack of it is what breeds dry snitching and all this dirty macking that's happening these days. You know, friends fucking friends, girlfriends. The gang running trains on your girl. You know, why you funding the whole gang and shit? 6ix9ine, anybody? I don't know. Is that maybe it's an East Coast thing? Because maybe I know I'm the only West Coast nigga, but the nigga out here in the West, in LA, fuck them bitches. Bitches ain't shit. And we don't give let me finish. None of my homies is gonna be assed out, as I heard. If my homie can't close the deal, then none of us close the deal. That's how we roll out here. in LA. The dude in the video said he knew homie. He knew how his homie was. He knew how his homie was. And he's still the homie. So that means to me that he provides some value somewhere else. And he forgone that for some pussy. For some pussy. And I bet them niggas was dissing him and joking when they got to the spot. You know, when they went to go do the quote unquote mission, they got there. They was probably joking on the homie, laughing to the girls. You know how niggas do. Pandering, simping, dissing the homie that's not there so they can get some quick pussy, get the dick sucked and all. I guarantee you that's what happened up there. But for me, the way I look at it is, if that's my nigga, man. Good, bad, or indifferent. Kenny's my nigga. Trev's my nigga. And if they socially awkward, then fuck it. Fuck them bitches. Or I'll connect with them later on. But I'm not leaving the homie while we out parking lot pimping and telling him, man, we got to go do this. The girls don't want you. You can't come. Bitch, please. You then don't, first of all, don't even, what are you talking about? Don't bring my homie. You know, men are so overly sexualized that they choose vagina and jeopardize friendships. But that's just not me. And I'm ashamed of some of y'all, man, because this is king talk. And we train kings here. And we train kings to have a king mindset. Not no throw the homie away to go get some pussy mindset. And I'm ashamed of y'all. I want y'all to reevaluate your decisions when it comes to getting your dick wet. Because what they wouldn't got, we can get all the time, but you can't get a solid homie. You can't get a good friend. Those aren't good, easy to find. Pussy, some bitches that can fuck tonight that you met in the parking lot every Friday.
Shan,
but so, nigga that's gonna ride with you.
Shan, is it a good homie if
let that marinate? Let that marinate.
I got a question.
Let that marinate.
Is that a good homie?
Oh, we ain't gonna let that bullshit marinate. That's some bullshit.
Hey, is that a good homie?
Yeah, y'all niggas is thinking now. Y'all niggas is thinking now. Because y'all, all of y'all thought about a homie that you grew up with. That all of y'all thought about a homie that you grew up with. And don't you dare throw that nigga away for some bitches that you met in the parking lot.
But
to get your dick stuck that
tell him
night.
To go home because he know he be fucking up the vibes. What if it's the one that? What if it's the homie?
I'm not gonna lie. Viz gets an asterisk. Viz gets an asterisk. Viz was like, he's not even gonna be the homie. I think Hink was saying that too. He's not even gonna be the homie. So you do gotta evaluate your circle. But if he's in the circle, he's in the circle.
So
if he's in the circle, he's in the circle. Period.
Shane, let me put a scenario on y'all, right? So let's say the reason why this homie, the girls say can't come now is because this the homie the last time y'all kicked it, got drunk, passed out in the corner, and we had to carry him out because he started throwing up. That's why he can't bring his ass back. Y'all, I'm gonna tell his ass, you need to go home, bro. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with it. That's his own issue. Hey, bro, nah, you can't hold your liquor.
Y'all are creating scenarios to justify that bullshit y'all said. Don't create nothing.
So Shannon. So for the way I view that shit is, say I was the homie that got left out. I feel away if all my niggas went home dolo because I didn't get nothing. So I made them pass on everything. But I'd be like, it's all right, cool. I'll get up with y'all tomorrow. No love lost. Shit, maybe I'll find something, maybe I won't. And then I'll be like, I know that group of women don't fuck with me. But I wouldn't be like,
you're a very integral gentleman. Yes. And I'm glad that you would evaluate yourself. But last I heard is bros over hoes. And y'all niggas pick the hoes. That's all I'm saying. I get it. But y'all niggas picked the hoes and told your homie to go home. I'm not doing that. Fuck them bitches. I'm not the nigga that I went out with and the club is over. Nah, either we all go or none of us go. That's just how we do. I don't know. So maybe it's different cultures. You know, Chicago different than LA. So
everybody can't go.
Like this hate ass nigga, he fucked the mission up. He ain't got mad because the hoes because they wanted us to come with them, and he got mad to say we ain't his friends. Because
man, I don't know what y'all talking about, man. I'm fucking with nigga. Me, Kenny, and Trev is riding out. And if me, Kenny, and Trev all go, none of us go. That's how we get down. Y'all, I see how y'all niggas do it.
Hey,
I see how y'all
y'all
niggas is gonna be fucking each other's girlfriends behind your back. Y'all gonna be laughing at the nigga. Yes, y'all are. That's exactly
no,
what
you don't get down on the homies.
Yeah, no, that's
That's not a
Oh no. God damn it. Come on.
No. But that's why I brought the example of he's solid in every other metric except for when it comes to the women. So I got niggas from the block, right? Where I know it's places I can't bring them. I fuck with them in the hood. I fuck with them like in certain hood spots. But I know it's places I know they're gonna be uncomfortable in, and I don't put them in that situation. And I'm gonna have to just be worried about them the whole time. So unless they insist on going to something like that, then I'm not gonna force that play on them. And this homie's from the club circuit that I wouldn't dare bring to the hood with me. Like some groups be isolated, and they don't really cross mingle because I got a wide swath of different types of friends. I know which friends is for which type of events and which type of and it might be something I'm not for.
Yeah, but you took this homie to this event. I got you. I hear what you're saying, but this event you took him, and y'all niggas said you sending him home to go get some pussy. I'm gonna circle it all the way back to what y'all said.
Right. Yeah, no. So
don't create no new pictures. Don't create no new context. Don't show me no new scenarios. I don't want to hear no new stories. I don't want to hear what about isms and what ifs.
You didn't create a context. We talking shit about them with the hoes. We doing all this. How we give you a realistic explanation?
Y'all.
Fictional.
You told us not to change the scenario, but Shan, that's what you did.
Hey,
y'all change the scenario, man.
Is it any if I was to say if only one of them said, "Hey, I want to link with you," but not the rest of your homies? When does it change? Or it's two of them that say, "Hey, we want you and you," but not the rest of your homies? At what point do we have to say, "Oh, all of us got to go or nobody"? Bro, come on, man. Let's keep it real.
I mean, well, all right. So realistically, from when I was in it, if that was a scenario, you know what I'm saying, two of them came, all right, man, I like Hank, but I ain't fucking with Marcus or whatever. All right, we'll say we'll see what's to it in like an hour. Yeah. And if we don't find nothing within that hour, that's a 3-man, then shit. Hey, Marcus, you know what I'm saying? We'll catch you on the rebound. All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of guys that I'll choose to hang around because everybody understand what it is. Hey, if you ain't get picked, we still tried. None came through. We got this for sure. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll try and, you know, put a word in, see if she got some buddies or something. See what it's looking like wherever we going, and we'll invite you over. Yeah. But you know, it's a way to do it. But I mean, go ahead.
No, what I was gonna say, man. Look, everybody in the crew ought to have an Old Faithful. They ought to have an Old Faithful, man. You know, one of those ones. You going into the club, you just looking for something new. You hoping you come up on something new. But if something don't happen before that 1 o'clock hour, you know to call Old Faithful up and you knock on that goddamn back door and do what you got to do and come on up out of there. So my man who's a wilding out, he need to have an Old Faithful where he can call up, do what he need to do, and come on up out of her. We can all go to the pool spot tomorrow on Sunday, watch football, and talk about our war stories and what happened. That's how I will roll. Man, look, if a dude's off this rocker like that, I'm gonna have a conversation with one-on-one. Bro, man, you know these chicks are feeling that way. But this ain't the first time. It's like the second or third time, dog, they've been saying this shit. Dog, what's going on? What's good? As a friend, if he my homie, we're gonna talk. We're gonna sit down and have a powwow. If we need to have a goddamn intervention with all the friends, so be it. Let's do it. I'm gonna try to help him out before I toss him to the side. But if he don't change, he's still doing that wilding out shit. Yeah, dog. Tone can't go with us like we used to. He ain't trying to do nothing different.
So I still fuck with him. It just wouldn't be when it comes to no women. Like shit, everything else is still the same. Just when it comes to the women, no, bro, you got to stay in the crib.
Yeah. I had a homie like that.
Transition. Yes. Go ahead, finish up. You had a homie like that, or
Yeah,
what?
I had a homie like that. His name was Murder Ron, light skinned dude. Look
Ron.
sneaky as hell. You know, he was one of them just mischievous looking motherfuckers. But
Murderer.
you know, he was light skinned, and some chicks liked him. But it only worked if we was in the hood, though. You know, if we was in anywhere outside of the hood, you know what I'm saying, or in the burbs, instantly, as soon as the females see him, dude kind of weird. You know, he was a little socially awkward too, quiet. So it was just got to the point where it's like, well, shit, we know that we can't bring bro when we on a mission like that. He was one of the homies, but bro just can't come with us when we on the mission. So, you know, it's knowing where to have certain groups to go in certain areas.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and transition, man. But for me, everything is always situational. You know, you kind of understand who your homies are, how they may feel when you out with them. But if we all roll together, it's kind of like one of those things. Like I can always get up with them another day. You know, we can always, get up at a later hour. We can always exchange numbers and then do something a little bit later. It just all depends. You don't really have to make that decision right then and there. But if you're going out and this guy's continuously seem to have an issue every time you go out, then you might not just invite him out. And that way you ain't really got to send him home because you already know what type of energy you're gonna get from that brother when you bring him out. So he may not get a chance to go to the house party, but maybe he can go to the picnic or the barbecue. Or if it's something, just you gotta understand like who he is and what he brings to the situation that you're trying to have or potentially have. So that's how I do it. You want to speak on this, Darwin, real quick before we transition? Anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I'm just updating my computer. I guess it's a software update. Maybe that's the problem. But yeah, I've heard everything everybody said, and I understand it. When I was out there, it's been a while. I don't know. Things might be different now. That's probably why everybody is probably gonna just tell dude to take a rain check or whatever. But when I was out there, the group of guys I hung out with, we were tight. So if a girl said, "Oh, we don't want him to come, but y'all can come," and we ain't going. We just these girls that we was messing with ain't worth shit to us. You know what I'm saying? The friends that we had, we were tight, like we still tight today. So if we ever came to a position where the girls ain't want to be down with all of us, and we just found a different group of girls to mess with, fucking bitches. That's what we said. I wasn't leaving none of my homies down. None of my homies at the crib to be alone.
Hey, Darwin, you can ride shotgun, bro.
Yeah.
I'm about to go pick up Trev and Kenny real quick, but I'll pick you up later. Lead the other niggas. Them niggas catch the bus.
And y'all gonna be dry at the end of the night.
We didn't operate like that. We all rode together. You know what I'm saying? It was so many girls to go hang out with. We wasn't stuck on no particular group. So anytime girls went down with us, we took it as an answer. Well, fuck y'all.
Did you not hear the scenario? This is the end of the night. Hold on, Viz. This the end of the night. Y'all already went to the club together, and it's a group of girls. Y'all going back to their houses, some shit like that, right? It's 3 girls, and say it's 4 men, and they like, just bring those 2 with you. You gonna say, nah, I'm not going. And
No, we ain't going. We ain't rolling. If they say something, well, I heard what I heard in the video is they didn't like the dude or some shit. No, you only like him. All right, good. Y'all can find a different group of brothers hang out. We good.
Well, like I'm gonna tell you what some of my homies would just be like, bro, I'm gonna just roll to the crib. You can just drop me off at the crib, or I catch an Uber. You know, some of my bros are like that. Like they kind of peep what the situation is. That's how I am. Like if I'm out and about, if I'm mingling and the guys, I'm like, man, well, y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. I'm gonna just go catch a ride. I'm gonna do something else because I'm already seeing the situation, and I understand that not every woman is gonna like you. So if them girls don't like you, it's not a big deal. That's just a part of life, part of the game.
Hey, it's a little different for Darwin and Shannon though, because them niggas ex-military, and them, y'all pay for pussy. So
Hey, they was hey, they was out
No,
to
nigga, we don't
Philippines or
get
something.
there's no soldier left behind. Don't get we pay for pussy mixed up with no soldier left behind. Y'all don't understand.
They was over in the Philippines.
You don't understand that.
At the end of the day,
that's the concept that y'all niggas don't know about yet.
all y'all paying for it. Anyways, y'all don't know y'all paying.
KC, EKA. My homie comes before any bees. What the F? A mess. I think let's go ahead and get this. Go to get this show cracking, man. Do black men secretly resent black women? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play this clip. I think Law, you might have put this in the group chat, right? Let me see. You put this stat in there, and this is similar to what he was saying in the actual clip about ready to play. Because yeah, 83% of married black men who earn at least $100,000 annually are married to black women. 83% of married black men who earn at least $100K annually are married to black women. Let's go ahead and play this clip and let's get into it.
That we hear about black men.
They don't get married.
No, they don't like who?
Oh, they don't like black women.
Well, yeah.
The national average for black men who are married, what are they married to?
It's got to be black women.
Black women at what percentage? Over 85%. But it don't matter though, because once they make money, that's when they go get white women.
White women, yeah.
The national average for making over $200,000, black men, right? How many of those men are married to black women?
I'll give him about a cool
95%.
95? I believe it. I do believe it. And then when you hear the horror stories, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen.
Girl.
Lex has a good point though, because they'll show the Scottie Pippen, right? And they'll say, look, this is how black men behave.
Yeah.
But that's not the fact. Destroying the black family has been on the forefront of the mind of the people who created this country. How do you destroy the black wealth in this country?
Yeah.
Destroy the black family. Make black women think that black men don't love them. Make black men think that black women don't respect them. That's all a fallacy. It's not true. The older I get, I'm 40 years old now, the more I realize that everything I've learned from mass media has been programmed by people who have an agenda.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's get Kenny in there. Now, I do want to get Darwin, though. He ain't really had that much time to speak. Go ahead, Kenny. What are your thoughts about what was said in the clip? It said 83% of black men are married to black women. DeVale said it's over 85%. So based off the data, it appears that black men do not have a disdain for black women. In fact, they're marrying them. And if you are an athlete or you consider a high value man, it still doesn't outweigh what the data says. But what are your thoughts about it, Kenny? I know we on these panels, we see something different, and some of the men on the panel may be able to argue that there is some hate and some disdain for black women, but it's not the majority. But what are your thoughts?
The numbers are the numbers. Numbers could be skewed to fit any argument, but let's take the numbers that we just got. For all the women that want to give pushback and want to feel a certain type of way, the numbers are there. Black men love black women. They usually pick the outliers to group us all in a position that, you know, they have some point of contention to say that we're not good. They'll pull out the affluent ball player and say that represent the masses of the blue collars that roll up their sleeves that just want to love them. But we, a certain portion of us, I would say a minority, don't make it easy. But what's the problem in pointing out the deficiency in how these women think? That's why we have King Talk. That's why we have brothers that put input, such as Law and Shannon and all the other brothers up here, so we can dispel this rumor, so we can move progressively forward. Stop all the nonsense. Women don't want to be accountable nowadays. And when we bring the numbers to them and show them that, listen, it's not your way, it's the village's way. And we want to love you, you just need to get out of your way. They have to make a choice. The numbers are there. I'll stick to the numbers that we just saw. Ladies, tighten up.
Can't hear
Go
you.
ahead, Law. We go to Law, then we go to
Hey man,
Trev.
so I be trying to avoid the comment section, right? Because I see so much nonsense in it. But I'm gonna speak on this one, right? You can look at this panel right now. Out of this panel, I believe is 50% of us are married, right? And we are all married, to my knowledge, to Black women. So those are real statistics right there showing you it ain't just the numbers. We are all married to Black women, and I'm not sure what all these individuals make as far as salary, but I'm pretty sure we all okay. You dig what I'm saying? We all do well. I keep it real with you. I probably know maybe three brothers that are married to women that aren't Black women out of hundreds that I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop with this. Stop trying to do all this victimization shit. And I'm talking to you, Di. Yeah, come on, Di, in the comments. I see that. Yo, we telling you facts right now. Stop thinking that, oh, Black men are out here just running to the other side all the time. That's not even that. Not only that, but we're not necessarily in those circles to even do so. So, you know what I'm saying? You may want to, you know what I'm saying, dial that back and change your attitude about these things, because that's probably putting you in a scenario to where you feel like Black men don't want you, because you're probably making yourself unpresentable. You're probably putting yourself in a scenario where they aren't looking at you because you have this disdain for what you think we're doing when we're trying to show you the facts in front of us. Plain and simple. So you might want to dial that back. But that's all. I'll be trying to stay out the comments, but you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
I hear you.
All right, go ahead, Trev.
I thought you said you don't read the comments last week. Hey, listen. My bad. So, this is just another one of those cases where we have a loud minority, right? You see some people, and I understand sometimes where females may get the idea. It's wrong, but it's not. They're not pulling it out of nowhere. There are some men who have a lot of vitriol for women, right? And unfortunately, they've reacted to that particular content. So the algorithm will continue to fuel your anger. That's just what it is. People have to understand that. When you, like, if you open up most of the guys' Explorer page, you're going to see nothing but big asses, right? And that's because that's what dudes was watching. That's what they reacted to. Even if they thought they were being slick enough not to watch, to hit the like button or comment, they still touched it through the Explorer page, and I let them know that that's what you like. And because you reacted, probably went in the comments somewhere when you saw some dude saying something crazy, you were compelled to speak on it, right? And if you was on YouTube, you probably disliked it. All that is engagement. So they're gonna keep showing you that, right? And then if you don't present yourself in a way where you would entice or compel a man to marry you, then your experiences are gonna suck, right? You could be chasing after the same type of dudes over and over and over and expecting a different result, which we know what that is. At some point, you have to look from within. If you don't like the results that you're getting, then you must improve. There is no way around that. If you can't get a man and you see all these other women are, these other beautiful Black women are, then there's something you need to figure out about yourself and why you suck. It is what it is. If men are not treating you well, it's because you were probably not picking good men. The red flags were there and you ignored it because maybe he looked the way you wanted him to look. He talked the way you wanted him to talk, smelled the way you wanted him to smell, or had the bank account that you liked. But you realized that you were incompatible with them, or you realized you didn't respect them and you destroyed the relationship. This is sometimes what we have to think about. You can't always blame the other individual. And we understand that there are some men who just are terrible leaders and different things like that. But I don't feel like that's the overwhelming majority. I'm able to talk to plenty of men. There are some men who need some work, but most of the men are definitely willing to put in that work to make sure that he's a suitable husband. And most men, contrary to popular belief, want to have a person to marry. The only reason why you see even the individuals who aren't is because they don't have a woman who is suitable for marriage. But I would venture to say that even the gentlemen who aren't yet married or aren't presently married would probably do it if they had faith in a woman that they knew was willing to get on a program, that was feminine, that was willing to put in her work and really respected that man, that they would. I think it would be hard to find a man who's not into that. Most of us men actually yearn marriage. and wants a person to be to have as a significant other. But people just don't think so because their experiences. A lot of people take their anecdotal experiences, and if that's how you feel, then you sound no worse than a lot of the red pillars on the podcast that's, you know, regurgitating a bunch of talking points. You got to look at yourself sometimes. I'll land the plane there.
Testing. What, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I think it's time to take that shot now, big brother. It's time to take that shot.
Too loud or not?
No, you good. You good, Dara.
All right. Well, I don't think it's an algorithm thing. I know for a fact. Well, I ain't gonna even say that because they're gonna argue me down on that. Women know that. Women know that black men marry majority to black women, and men who earn over six figures, majority marry black women. They know that. They act like they don't know that because it's an accountability tactic. It's a way to try to shift the blame from them, and it's a way to point the finger back at us, and just hope that we don't just take the time out to look at the statistics or any of the proof that we are doing what we're supposed to do. So oftentimes when I hear women say that or act like the shock, I just think it as it's a game. These women know good and damn well our first preference, our first choice out of the gate is the sister. I think it's just an evil thing, bro. They highly educated. I think they more educated than us, or got a higher rate of obtaining degrees than us. They see the same information we see. They have access to the same data and statistics. They know. I think they just want to get on these podcasts and push back. I think they get a kick out of just pushing back at men and just causing contention and resistance. It's a feel good feeling for them. And I don't buy it whenever I hear these conversations. I don't buy it that these women genuine are shocked or put off that, wow, I didn't know black men are doing what they're supposed to do. They know we fucking doing what we got to do. They just want a reason to argue and take the light and shame off of themselves so they can continue to fuck around and do the foolery that they've been doing. That's all it is. So fellas, if you hear any of the women trying to act like they don't know what's really going on, just ignore them hoes because they running game on you.
Bless you.
They running game.
A little bit harsh there, Darwin. Go ahead, Viz.
I mean, something like this, specific like this, whenever you, and I saw that guy on the Tyler Perry TV show. I forgot what the show it was or his name. I think he had a YouTube channel before that too. But he put it straight, man. It's been an attack on a black family, man, and it's running with these narratives in general, and running with these narratives. It's been kind of working. You know what I'm saying? It's been kind of working, but we allow it to work. Like it's like some people just want it to fail. Like they want it to fail. Like the fact that you hear this narrative about black men and women not marrying, or black women being the least desired, or men marrying the less. What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna go get married? Are you gonna change the numbers? Are you gonna check the numbers to see if it's true? No, what you're gonna do is just continue to suck it up every night. I'll yield.
All right. Go ahead, Viz. If you're talking, there you go.
Yeah, I was trying to look something up real quick. I agree with everything that's been said. I think that I'm kind of torn by. I believe that there is an agenda that's been set to destroy the black family, but I think that it's no longer in the hands of who we would deem the powers to be. I think that we're doing it ourselves at this point, especially with some of the YouTube platforms that we see. There's men on here that, in my opinion, does have a resentment to women. We even just seen essentially where the coolie guy, you know, he's doing the opposite of what he's been telling his viewers to do. And I'm pretty sure that it happens on the woman's side as well. We saw it with Fresh and Fit as well. You know, old boy was fucking around with the one chick, thought he got her pregnant or did get her pregnant or whatever, but it was the same exact chick that he was telling people to stay away from. So I think that we are taking a major part, and not us on the panel, but the Black community is playing a major part in that destruction and division all on its own without anyone having to do it on the outside. But I do believe those numbers. I know that those numbers are true. But it's whenever we say it, there'll always be someone that'll say, oh, no, that ain't true. Man, Black women ain't shit. Woo, 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 woo. And it's like, well, that's not how everybody feel. That may be your experience. But the more that we have that loud minority saying it, you know, it becomes a problem, because now it's clickbait. It's easier for it to go viral. It's easier for people to feed into. So I think as long as we continue to put those narratives out there, that Black love is real. Love is a thing. You know, you can find your person. And it's possible. I think that we can get that message out there much louder than what we hear now.
All right, go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah, so when in my life before I came onto the internet, or really, start interacting with the internet, I say 97% of the people I know either married or been with a girlfriend for over 7 years. Like the people that was single, they really wanted to be single, and they was still like in and out the club type shit, and they just said that was gonna be their life for the rest of it. So this men ain't marrying or getting with women. I really didn't see it, or even see any vitriol towards Black women until I came online. I see it in comments and shit online, and sometimes on panels, some of the shit be like, "Damn, bro, it's coming off a way." Now, when you ask people, they say that's not how they feel, but it do come off a way. Like Viz was saying, yeah, I think that the algorithm rewards hyper negative interactions. Like, you can have a million people on here getting married and kissing and hugging. That shit won't go viral, but you get Fresh and Fit fighting, everybody will see that shit in the next 24 hours. So it'll make it seem like we just fighting with women nonstop. And I think it's certain type of personalities that come on panels. So if you gonna come and operate how I think majority of Black men operate when it come to dealing with women, the chat gonna eat you alive a lot of times and call you a simp and all this other shit. And it kind of encourage men to like go hard at women and make it even worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it seem like, yeah, that's what all these Black men do. They can't wait to get on their bumper and go do. But I really don't. I just don't see that shit in real life. And I damn think some of the shit people do on panels in real life when it comes to women, they don't behave that way. So even that's skewed. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't think Black men hold secret resentment. I think the ones who have like issue, they pretty loud and vocal about that shit. So it ain't no secret. It's on Fresh Street for the people that actually feel away. At least from what I seen. I don't think they hold resentment.
And it's almost pitiful though when you see the ones that are loud. It's like, bro, you look miserable. You sound miserable, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's I don't know, but it's everything is covered up with simping. Any and everything is simping now. when we was watching the Judge Mathis joint. You know, Chaotic came on. He was, man, it kind of seemed like fam simping. You know, whole time he expressing his feelings on how much he want his wife back. Well, that's his wife, bro. But we in the YouTube world, we motherfuckers just throw the word simping around so easily and layer it on everything. It's like, come on, man. If that's your wife, that's your duty to, you know, take care of what you got to. That's not simping.
I just want to say something real quick. I do want to say that this is one of those instances where it's true that Black women are not protected. They're not protected on social media against the algorithm. And I can tell you that, and if you don't believe me, you can go through my own post. If a guest on my panel decided to use the words Black woman, the video will literally get like crazy views compared to a lot of my normal views. And that's on across platforms. It just happened again last week on TikTok, where it superseded my other videos by, like, I guess, like by thousands. Let's just say that. Because I guess decided to say something. If you put a clip where you use the words Black woman, the algorithm will, I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's because they know certain people will click it or they just let it rock, but they feed it and it makes it easy. So when they do that, you just have to understand how many eyes are going to go on it, right? So a lot of people who not know who the hell I am or what I stand for, if they see that clip, then they're gonna be like, damn, here go another one. I hate Black women. So that's why I say that the social media algorithm is certainly a major part of it, because they push that. I don't know if you want to call it an agenda or what, but this is something that I'm an analytical guy and I look at what does what wording does what, and this and that. And I'm telling you, cross platforms, not just there, it's on IG, YouTube too. Like, for real. If you use that phrase, they let your video rock. You can say all types of nonsense.
But what is protection from out? What does a protection look like for a Black woman?
What does it look like? I mean, it would look like you don't push that shit more than you would push any other video. Because if I would have said something about another group of women, it wouldn't have flew the same. Is what I'm saying.
You don't think it's an underlying reason why the term Black woman may be associated with something that actually makes it more privy to being in the algorithm?
I don't know. Because they're very secretive about it. So I could only come up with a theory.
Just try to think about uploaded content. If you take uploaded content and Black women on a scale from 1 to 10, how much is that uploaded content is going to be positive or negative?
I would say the majority of it is going to be negative.
So if it was positive, the connotation of Black women and the algorithm, it wasn't treated as powerful as it is, right? As far as pushing it in front of people, because the uploaded content is so positive. But because the uploaded content is so negative, it's not Black women, it's the negativity associated with Black women. You get what I'm saying?
I think that it's trendy. You know, I'm pretty sure if you type in Black woman or even ebony, right, you're gonna get some borderline soft porn, you know, type of joints popping up. So if that's what the algorithm is being fed and that's what people are looking up, then it's gonna do what it naturally does.
So do this for me, Liz. Take away algorithm for me.
Yeah.
Take away algorithm out of the game. You give 100 Black women a camera. It don't matter what demographics, where they from. You get them a camera and you tell them they got 24 hours to go shoot, film, do whatever they want, fun. And they come back with all of their content and you upload it. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much of that content is going to be majority negative, or I wouldn't even say negative content that is borderline pushing 3 or 4 culture, promiscuity, or any of those things, versus class, reserve, femininity, marriage, positive things. We haven't even gotten to the algorithm yet. We're looking at the content before it even goes into the algorithm to figure out who wants to watch that. So
yeah, I would almost say it might be 60-40, and that's being kind of gracious.
And that's being generous. So I think the underlying problem is not actually the term. It's who's a part of that group. What are they doing? What do they value? What do they want the world to see? What do they want the world to see?
Darl, do you think that you put one video up, right? And it's the same video, but you put 4 different thumbnails on it. One got a thick ass chick and some little shorts. The other got a regular woman just cooking with, fully clothed. The same video, same woman. One got her, I don't know, shooting a gun, but nothing is going on, right? It's the same video. That one where she got them little shorts might have 6 million views. And the other videos might have 2,000 or something like that. Like so if you was telling those black women they need to go viral, or the incentive to sexualize themselves is the easiest, most profitable thing they can do. That don't necessarily mean that's what they want to go promote. If they play an algorithm game, that's how that would come off.
Yeah, but Marcus, remember, Darwin's argument is what is protection? So if his argument is what is protection, as Trev Smooth is suggesting that they don't have it, are they if they're self-promoting the sexual stuff because they have the need for attention, then you can't really use you're not protected. You don't want to be protected. You out here you out here putting a thumbnail up that is going to go viral because you want to be noticed or go, get friends, likes, get attention, get male attention or whatever it is, more so than you would put up the one of you shooting a gun or wearing a nice dress to church. So is it really that they're not protected, or is it when given the opportunity to be protected, they choose not to be?
No, I could understand that standpoint.
Let me make one more statement, right? In fact, I would argue that the algorithm will probably have to spend more time and resources trying to hide the negativity that's attached to the term black woman than to put it in the algorithm, because of how much of it is. It's just so oversaturated. So it's no way to put a muzzle on it. Even if you wanted to shield people from seeing it, it's just so much of it. Like, it's nothing you can do about it. The person that's clicking upload knows that this is what they want the world to see. And how can you block it? How can you protect it?
It's the same thing with those fight videos. Remember, we used to see all those world star. Black men are not exempt from this either. Especially young black men out there to fight culture and being in the streets and doing all this. Because I used to say, "Where's the Asian fights?" I'm like, where's the Italian fights, street fights? I don't see those. How come only niggas is fighting at Disneyland? It's like,
because only niggas is fighting at Disneyland.
Yeah, no, that's real shit. So here's what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do the whatabouts. Because I understand, and there's a time for that, but only because the subject matter was, do black men secretly hate black women? So I didn't want to go to the whatabouts and if men, and because that's a thing, and that's nothing I would deny. Because you're right, Shan, that's real shit. But I didn't want to do that. This is something that a lot of people complain about. If we talk about women fucking up, then I'm going to stay on that. I don't want to hear what about men. So just to keep it legit, I just want to keep it there. And there are some women who upload some things that are provocative, but that's around the board. That's like all races are guilty of that. My Explorer page has plenty of a little everything on there, and it's all nasty, right? So that's that. But what I say is this. we can control what we can control. And we do see a lot of dudes. Let's get making some crazy numbers. Some of the most popular podcasts in the world are really dogging the hell out of black women, say they would never date them. You see them divesting, and it's bad. It's the optics of it. And even though there's so many more men, all of our views combined may not reach what it is that, 3, 4, 5 major content creators are doing. That what they're producing is reaching so many more eyes than all of us talking right now. And even if we got all our platforms together, it's hard to compete with that loud minority because they're fed all the views, is curated into all the platforms. So that's one of the problems we have. So I think that I've tried to do a lot better as far as that's concerned, just being more sensitive to it. And now that I'm understanding a lot more about it and actually talking to women about the situation, and I know it's a real gripe and it looks bad. And at the other end, there are our counterparts. So it's a representation of us too, because they're the other half of our family. So we do want to try to at some point protect their situation. And again, like you would say, Shan, the ones that ain't even off it, the ones that ain't legit, them who them want, the recreational ones, which I hate to put people in that category, but damn it, it's true. Some of y'all ain't nothing but that. I'm sorry. And that's only because of the way you produce yourself. Not because I look at you and picked you to be that, but because I couldn't see myself ever wifing you. And the bros couldn't neither. And that's all I'm saying. So listen, the virtuous women out here, we want to reward you. We want to protect you. But the ones of y'all that's out here to further perpetuate the nonsense, F y'all.
I know you say you was going to do this shot, JR. It's about that time, right? I can't hear you, brother.
I'm going to go grab mask and somebody at the audience know what we shotting up for.
Yeah, so the reason why we taking a shot right now is because JR's old ass turned 57 on Saturday. Nah, we don't know if he's really 57. I'm just making some shit up. But now we're taking the shot. JR celebrating his birthday on Saturday, so we're doing it on King Talk here with you fellas and ladies and gentlemen in the chat.
Yeah, do y'all feel bad if y'all put a woman in a category? Would it make you feel better if the landscape allowed us to be open and upfront about how we want to categorize who we're dealing with without being insulted or called misogynistic or sexist or whatever the terms is that a woman will call you if you openly say that, hey, look, not looking for anything serious. I just want to have a good time with you.
I think, man, like I've been saying that since I was a shorty. I think that's like, I don't see nothing like, as long as you telling somebody like your intentions, I don't really see nothing wrong.
Well, you know, it don't always happen like that. I mean, depending on your status, you might be drunk. You might say it a different way. You might be like, shit, I'm just trying to fuck.
Yeah. No, I think as long as you tactfully say it, women don't really be having no problem with it.
Don't always come out tactfully. Like, well,
that's the issue.
That's not true. Most men can't get that shit off, bro. Stop it, Marcus. Stop it.
I'm saying they can't tactfully say that. Like,
nope.
I've heard
most men can't get that off, bro. Nope.
I heard a man saying this since the beginning of time. I'm not looking for nothing serious right now. Men don't say that, bro.
Men definitely, certain men can get that off. She got to really be into you, bro, and she already has to have you in mind as that purpose. You know, women purpose you, and you could purpose yourself right out of that. You could be known as a F boy in the club that night. And then you don't execute that night, get a number instead. In a couple of days, now she's starting to like other things about you and prioritizing you. Now you ain't getting cookie until she feels like she got you secured. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of them things. It's a lot of nuance to it, man. We can't act like this shit is cut and dry. We can't act like every man could get that off. Some men could, but you got to build yourself into that man to be able to get that off. And the average man won't get that off. You can't just go around saying, I'm trying to smash. It doesn't work like that. That's not most men's reality. That's real shit. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be no such thing as an incel. It wouldn't be no, like, if it was that easy, it wouldn't be cats that couldn't smash. Just a lot of cats that don't get ass, bro. That's real shit. We looked up the stats of that, and what are they saying? Like 33% haven't had sex in a year or are virgins entirely. That's wild. It's not that easy, bro. I'm telling you. And that's just getting no ass at all. Much less being able to approach a chick and be like, yo, I'm trying to hit. Like, it ain't no, you can't, they don't, it ain't happening, bro. Females only want to be like that with certain types of dudes, and they have access to almost all men because the dude that's considered to be a dime will go ahead and smash a 3. So why the hell ain't not? If they want just sex, they're gonna try to smash the best specimen possible.
So this bottleneck forces men to secretly categorize women and withhold his intentions.
I'm saying no because I've been saying that since I was a kid. I get the point you're trying to make, Trev. I'm not negating that, but I'm speaking to him saying secretly, and I'm saying I don't think it's a huge secret. I think the people that be in them type of scenarios, they kind of keep it player from the beginning.
I don't even think women want you to be as upfront.
It's tactfully done. It's the way you explain something. Like, if you just walk up to a woman and be like, I'm trying to smash, what's up? No, that shit is not.
I know that's not going to be just a walk up. You could just be taking her out on a date, or you can just be hanging around and getting to know her and tell her, hey, look, I don't want anything serious. When I first saw you, only thing I can think of is whatever you say tactfully, but it's obviously sex. How do you get around?
Hey, before y'all go, hold on. Before y'all go any further, let's go and do this toast, man, for JR and his birthday, man. Celebrate.
Word is bone.
This one of the greatest creators in this network, man, getting another season older. So shout out to you, JR, brother.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Happy 50th.
Thank you, sir. Feels good to be 50.
Y'all done had me start with the brown. You know what type of night it's about to be now, boy.
Hey, but I'm saying though, Trev, like if it's been a year for a dude to not get some action, and he's been intentionally trying to get some action for a year, that, you know what I'm saying, dude, he might be the one that motherfuckers is leaving at the parking lot type joint. You know what I'm saying? You can't come on.
No, that's valid. But what was you saying? Where was you going with it?
Oh, I was just piggybacking off of what I walked in on.
Oh, pause. But yeah, no, what I said was for real, like the way that he was basically saying like men should be upfront about it. Not like just saying I'm trying to smash, but like let them know you a F-boy type shit. And there's subtle ways of doing that, right? And I dig it. I know. It's just the energy. They already know what it is. You don't even have to really say nothing. When you go in there, that's what they assuming. Because females understand who could get this and who don't. And if they feel like that and they on you, when they start pressing, then you just get that type of energy. You ignore them a little bit. Like if once they realize that you a big deal and they gonna try to do that, it's up to you to talk your way out of the pussy. That's real shit. You're gonna talk your way out of it because the female will approach you like that. If you go in there with your fly on, you smelling good, you know what you're supposed to do, you know how to talk, how to bring that energy and pay just enough attention for them to want more, it's gonna happen. But you could talk your way out of that really easy. But what I'm telling you is that ain't the average dude's reality. That's what I was saying to Marcus. It's not the average dude's reality. Most dudes can't go into a club and command attention. Most dudes are not over 6 feet. If you're not going to command attention, right? Unless you got some seriously fly shit on. And most dudes don't really have seriously fly shit on. They may have some cool shit, but it's an energy. You have to understand how to be around his women, and most people don't have it to where they that guy. Females choose. If they trying to smash, they trying to get the best option possible. It's not like dudes where we could be out here scavengers, where we could just go to the parking lot and after the club, didn't even go in and act like we was in there and just pick up some joint. They're not trying to do that. They trying to have fun. They trying to get dudes to spend drinks on them, and then they want to smash a different dude. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it go. And they trying to pick the best option possible. They're not just settling like, all right, this one gave me an L. That dude who they wanted to smash didn't want them, and then they just screwed up their whole night. And you the dude who bought her all the drinks, and she ain't going to smash nobody that night. She out.
Yeah, but if she smash a dude, even if it's not you, if she just open to smashing the one she like, we could still categorize her, right?
Yeah, but where are you going with that?
Okay. Walk with me. A girl goes out in the club. She's choosing. That one's cute. That one's cute. That one's cute. I don't know, but I like that one. Oh, he can get it. He happened to walk up to her. If he's fucking tonight, what do we classify her as?
I mean, you can classify her as what you want. You can call her a hoe, but then guess what? You know what's gonna happen? She gonna meet somebody else who don't know she be like that, and he'll wife her. So it doesn't really hurt. They don't care about that. As long as you don't know what they did, and women are never going to be honest about their history. You can't really tell how many miles is on it. They're gonna turn the miles back, bro. You don't know what's going on. You could get a range based on the way that she behaves, but you never really know.
But should you be villainized? I think the question is, should a man be villainized
for categorizing a female
that moves like that?
No, of course not. No, you see it for what it is, and guess what? Your hoe might be somebody else's wifey. This dude, dream girl, might be your side piece.
So if with that kind of narrative, and we can all agree, is it safe to say men are wifing up women out of recreational use?
Some of them. It happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah, it happens.
That's definitely a thing. Yeah, I would say that that certainly happens sometimes. Shit, we probably all did that and don't even know it.
So when they say single mothers are for rec use, she's just typical female, right?
Well, there's a burden of a child in the way, right? So it's not just because she was out here smashing. It's that you are now going to have to take on that permanent responsibility for a child, which is completely different. That completely changes the dynamic. And her body count is one thing, right? Which some women can recover from, not most. But a child is something that you have to be responsible for. I wouldn't never date a woman seriously unless I was a single mother, unless I was going to be in a child's life. I just particularly chose to opt out of single mothers, not because I thought they were trash, but because they just weren't for me, and I wanted to raise my own child from scratch. That was just my personal preference. And being that as I didn't have any children, I took particular pains to be responsible and made sure my pullout game was on down to the millisecond. I did not want to suffer because someone else pullout game wasn't.
Damn, Trev, you was out here raw dogging, bro.
Not everyone. Not everyone. No.
It doesn't matter. You made it seem like not everyone was a. It doesn't matter. If you was doing it 10% of the time, it's already bad enough.
Hey, call it what you will, man. I'm just being honest.
So anybody who's in recreational use, if a single mother and a childless chick in recreational use has the same chances of being wiped up.
Yeah.
It all depends on the man, right?
Yeah, I personally, I don't think that having a seed makes the woman less or more of a 304 than the single than the chick with no kid. You know, it just matters what's in her. If she a 304, she a 304 with the kid or without. You know.
So the kid alone, we can be clear that the kid alone, it's not necessarily make her the 304. It's actually her individual behavior aside from being a parent.
For sure.
I don't know if we're gonna touch on that later because I ain't want to skip over in that, but I just want to let y'all know I got a video coming out on Thursday. It's about single mothers, the dateable and the undateables, so we can clear the air on, just classifying them all just off the strength that they just have a child, which I think is unfair.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to transition to that because that's one of the things that was brought to my attention is in this space and even on the internet, all women are being put in a category of not being worthy to date because they have a child. And what I'm hearing from some of the women that have had conversations with me is that every situation is different. You know, some women did approach doing it the right way as far as getting married, having a child, and then they got divorced. So let's just speak on that. Because even on this panel, I heard some of the gentlemen heavily criticize a woman just for having a child without hearing a situation. So why do we go the route of saying, well, you're not married or you didn't try to work it out without fully hearing the situation? Anybody can speak on.
Hold on. Say that again. I'm sorry. I say the last part. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So on the panels, typically when a woman says she has kids or she's divorced, there's a story that's behind it, but the story is not even given a chance to be heard because the fact that she's a single mother and she's divorced, she already is put into a box of what I'm seeing on the panels as far as that she's not worthy or to be dated or to be remarried or so forth. You know just how the rhetoric is. So like this is one of the things that was brought to my attention from women and what they deal is with us on these panels is that we don't even hear the story. We're just automatically putting them in the box.
Well, I can say that is false. I think Trev, Marcus, sometimes it is. I think even Kenny and Law have sat on a panel where we had females who were single mothers disclose, their stories. And we took their stories in account. And oftentimes, maybe more often than not, I'm not going to say who, their story doesn't align with any justification for destroying a family. It ain't even got to be biblical reason. Sometimes the stories are just, I wasn't happy or this, or the woman wasn't transparent, which give us the reservation to make a judgment from connecting the dots for what the information that we give. And I would say 80 to 90% of the time we're accurate. And or if the girl don't even push out any information, we just leave it at that. We don't really try to, be unfair to her. But I mean, if you're gonna tell us that you have kids and you know what I'm saying, you done been through a divorce, and then you just leave it at that, like, is it really that you got a justified reason, or are you hiding that the situation was so bad or so unjustified that it would actually paint you out to look worse than what you already look? And it's a way to dodge shame by not being fully transparent. So I don't know what else y'all see, Marcus, but I think we'd be completely fair over here, at least on this panel.
Do you gentlemen agree? Do you think the men on this panel, any of the panels that you're saying, are you think they're giving women a fair chance as far as why they are wind up in the situations that they wind up in?
It's definitely on.
Go ahead. What Darwin is saying. Oh, go ahead. Somebody else about to go.
Go ahead. Hank.
No, what Darwin is saying is okay. Well, Darwin, it sounds crazy because I heard Darwin. I heard you sit there and say how you talking about women with kids and not married are just they're no good. But now you're saying something different today.
So how did you hear me say it? Did you just hear me say no good? Because I don't even use no good as a term. My vocabulary. What was the context?
Well, I mean, when you,
I mean, I could give it to you. Pause.
I can't really remember the the statement how you were saying it, but it was like on a Thursday night. You know what I'm saying? You was talking about how these women who have kids and were single parents are how you shouldn't marry a baby mama was one of the things you were saying. As a man, you should.
Yeah, Darwin, I would agree with Hank. I feel like like sometimes you're like right on the line of saying, and maybe you use it as the clickbait or the motivation for people to watch it. But sometimes it does seem like you use don't date single mothers, but you'll give whatever reasons following that as to why it wouldn't be wise in that situation of where it'll be the stereotypical type of single mothers that you don't want to date. So I do kind of agree with Hank. It's like you're on that fine line of potentially pointing out the flaws of it, but in the midst of it, you'll also point out the maybe not the advantages, but the limited times is when you would do it.
So I most definitely pointed out. I point out the flaws too. And I may point out certain circumstances, but I try to leave it up to who's in the discussion. Is there actually a mother or single mother on the panel? What is the story? And then kind of trying to drive the point home from that situation. If we get somebody who has transparency, but for the most part, I stand my ground on any woman who creates children without, any intention, out of wedlock, multiple baby fathers, recklessly. I think it's wrong, especially for the kids. It's wrong for the community. If your hopes is to create a community where we can come together and build families and be on one accord. So anything against that, and then I got my biblical principles. But I don't try to push that. If I pushed it really hard, then Lord. It probably would be even worse because from the scriptures I'll be reading, there is no leniency the way we show it to the women on these panels. The word is just wrath. It's like it's no tolerance for that type of behavior or operation. So we kind of try to stay away from being on the word so we can allow people to be more transparent. Because if you just jump right into the Bible, people kind of get afraid and feel a sense of conviction and fear, like, damn, my salvation is on. Let me just back out. They talking about the Bible. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of just try to lean on the actual situation at hand if we get someone to have a story. But there's circumstances involved, man. Like if you're a single mother and you've been widowed, or your husband is incarcerated, and you had to get out, or your husband is beating the crap out of you, physical abuse, stuff like that isn't banning you. I mean, I was rooting for. I seen a TV show, and I don't always like to bring in TV shows, but I think this is something we can all relate to. I was rooting for the guy who stepped up for the man who left and went to Atlanta. I forgot what TV show this was, but it was just on. I don't know if it's Housewives or whatever, but this man left his wife and his kid to go to Atlanta. He was just tired of it. He left, and another man stepped up. I mean, they're still married, but this man abandoned his family, and this woman moved on. So those women who still want love, they still want love, and they still want to look for a connection, and they have a child. I think they're worthy of getting a second shot. It wasn't.
Yeah, but you put them all in the same category, though, Darwin. That's what I'm saying. You was doing. You didn't separate, like, if you're an ex-wife or anything like that. This is the first time I heard you sit there and say, if you're a widowed woman who lost their husband due to a death. I've never heard you. You always put them like single mothers are like the worst thing to ever.
There's a reason why you haven't heard. There's a reason why you haven't heard it. There's a reason why you haven't heard this side. And it could be because of the contestants or the panelists we get never have that story.
Well,
Unfortunately, never.
one of the things.
He does shows
Hold
on
on.
it though. That's why. Go
What?
ahead, bro.
We never. Like I said, I like.
I was about to say something. Jay, I was about to say something.
Well, what I was going to say is that one of the things that I've heard too is that some women are afraid to even admit their situation or that they're in a situation. So instead of, it's like, how come the men don't give grace to the women? They may be in an unusual circumstance. They may not have the courage to even speak up about being essayed. And so when they mention they have kids and it's kind of used against them. So like, what do you have to say as far as in response to that?
Of a woman who actually don't want to admit it?
Well, I mean, you don't have too many people that come on the panels, right? Like they may not want to tell their entire situation. They may be embarrassed. They may be ashamed. They may not have received the healing that they need or the courage to be able to speak up on it. So they automatically are placed into a box when they say they have children. So typically men will come back like, didn't you say on a previous show that you had kids and you said you were divorced? Oh, okay. And then they just written off from that point on.
Well, it's no different. It's no different than a man who's been incarcerated for 20 years. And everybody on the panel saying, man, motherfuckers who be out here committing crime, shooting motherfuckers, killing them, they ain't shit. They the worst. They the bottom of the society. And we need to separate ourselves from them. And it's a man on the panel who actually done that. But he didn't give you context behind why he did it, because he's ashamed. The reason why he did it, because he was in his house protecting his family, and he shot a man, and he didn't know the laws of the state that you can't shoot nobody exiting the door. You have to let them leave. So he ended up doing a bid. You know what I'm saying? But out of insecurity, he didn't even say it. He said, yeah, he just took it. So it's up to you whether you want to be transparent, if you know that you're in the right for your decision or not. And oftentimes, a lot of the women on these panels, they don't be in the right. So they just sit there and eat the bullet. They have the opportunity.
You remember Marcus's friend that was on that Thursday show? You gave that heifer the business.
Which
gave
one?
that heifer the business.
What's her name? P-Ray?
It was 2 Thursdays ago. It was 2 Thursdays ago.
They were sitting right beside each other, and you was giving her the business about her and her situation, being a single mother and all that. I'm like, God damn.
Hold on, wait. We didn't even know anything about her until I think Kenny exposed her, because he forced her to tell her story about how she brought a man from out of the country and abandoned him or just ditched him. We didn't know. We was actually the whole entire show. We was actually praising and promoting her for her intellect on how she was standing on the policies, on how she was standing on Black women using her mind to vote right, until she actually became transparent, which brings me to my point. When we actually waited for these women to become transparent, we actually see the reason why they never actually fess up to how things came to be. I think Kenny remembered.
But all that was good though. All that was good until you found out she was a single mother and that situation.
No, it was the circumstances. It wasn't that she was a single mother, because Kenny was there. We wasn't even on her. Like, we was actually going back and forth with, who was it? I think DJ. And then that's whenever P-Ray started telling her story, how she just met a supermodel in Africa and brought him back and just ditched him. That right there, it baffled everybody on the panel.
Can I jump in?
That's not what happened, dog.
No.
So wait. What happened?
Because Kenny was there, and I think hold on, Trigger Mike was there for a minute.
I was there too, because I kind of got
into let's have Marcus
a bit.
When him Marcus, and let's get Trigger Mike in there and Kenny.
She say she from my understanding, she got married. They came to America, and the relationship didn't work out, and then they divorced. That's what happened. Did she not say she was married?
There were very vital parts that we parsed through to find out what type of woman she was. You know what you were doing? You were playing with something in your hand, and you were going with a
When I
police
say
line.
stop,
Not disrespect. I'm not disrespecting
can I
you.
tell you, stop talking
Golly.
to me, Joe? Hey, I'm not your homie, man. Don't say shit to me. Talk to somebody else. You don't gotta talk directly to me about shit, Joe. Not a motherfucking thing. Talk to everybody else. Make your point. Don't direct shit to me.
So I don't care how tough you talk. You could do all that flexing you want.
Ken, talk to me. Talk to me, Ken.
No. Hank, this shit gotta stop.
But if it ain't gonna go nowhere, there's no need of doing it.
Okay, Hank, I was not disrespectful. I was replaying what was happening that day. That's why he did not hear the conversation, but the little kid in him.
Come on, y'all. Let's just go on. Let's just have a.
Hey, I just told this nigga not to say shit to me. I don't address him. I don't speak to this nigga. He don't gotta say shit to me. Make his point about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Leave me out of it. Or I'm dropping your ass.
JR, I will speak directly to the panel, not the little kid. So here's what we doing.
Come on, Marcus.
So this.
So before Kenny go, let me just say this to try to give some clarity. I would say that.
Hold on, bearded combo. I can't really see you, bro.
So Darwin, allow me to say.
I can't really see you, bro.
Who? Me?
So I'm talking to bearded conversation. You guys know him? Ever seen him before?
No, this is my first time.
No, this is my first time. That's my first time watching the show. This is my first time coming on streaming.
Okay, so another one of these unruly women or let me straighten out. You'll make me. All right, so P-Ray was found out to be something other than what she was. And I'm tired of brothers coming up here pandering for these dysfunctional ass people that they bring up in here. First, you bring up a nigga with 14 baby mamas, 18 kids. Funny you know him. Then you bring up a unruly.
I don't even know, dude. This bitch ass nigga. Why you steady talking to me, Joe? I done told you, talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about.
Okay, there was an unruly P-Ray.
Brothers, we should be peace.
Hold on, Kenny.
Kenny. Up here.
Kenny, like Kenny. Like there was a Marcus. I know. Okay, but that wasn't Marcus that brought him on. Marcus didn't know the guy with 14 kids.
I am speaking on the woman.
Okay.
On the story. Cause Yo, this is gonna be, and look at the clown.
Somebody gotta mute their mic. I think everybody mute their mics.
Yeah. Somebody mic. Everybody mute up.
He finds it funny that black men get in contention. It's never a day.
Just get to your point, man. It's no point in calling names.
Hey, Vince, you're the only clown up here laughing.
Right. So I'm saying, if just say that.
I'm talking directly to you.
Don't call me a clown.
You're the only clown up here laughing.
Let's build, brothers.
Just get to your point.
You're the only clown up here laughing.
Okay, and I'm gonna keep laughing, nigga. What is that? What do you keep saying that for?
Hey, y'all, we trying to have a conversation about do black.
Yeah, I was on mute. This
You're
nigga
the only clown up here laughing.
All right, Kenny, come on.
You the only clown in your feelings.
Let's get back to the subject. I'll speak on the.
Nah, Trigger. I'm gonna get it out.
Yeah, finally.
So now, P-Ray was a certain lady. P-Ray was a certain lady that we come to find that didn't represent what womanhood should be. She married a man from Senegal. She was submissive when she was in his country. Muslim. Followed the rules. He made sure she was all right over there. She came back to Chicago. Story didn't fit. You were able to help your man get a movie role, and then some way or some sort, he felt emasculated But then we got to the root of things. She couldn't be that wife. When she was over here, all the principles in her representative changed. And she admitted it because she gave us the necessary information to show that she was another one of them piece of shit women. So when you hear me say marriage is a bad contract, but then you also see me leave room for if you find the right one, it's like hitting a lotto ticket. Remember when I said that, Hank? She was the case that most men would run away from. She stood up here and had a 5-minute argument with another sister that's troubled, that has something going on with her. She has a big heart, but she does not trust men. Then you watch one that would tear apart men and is conditional for what they need. And that was the whole story as for when a man, nuclear family, Darwin, chose to chime in and give the representative, if that is a representation of what a man should cleave to. Nah, I don't want it. In my biblical presence, I'm standing on something that actually works. And she's the worst of it. That's actually what Darwin was pointing out. And then she tried to give pushback. And there was no room for it.
So Ken, we can't act like people can't change go full circle, make differences. You understand what I'm saying? We can't act like that can't happen though. You understand? Because y'all, like I said, Darwin was on her side when everything was everything. But when she told a dark side that happened in her life where she made a selfish decision, then all of a sudden the tables turned. No, it shouldn't have turned just because on that bullshit. You was riding with it, you was cheerleading for her ass then. Don't stop cheerleading for her ass now. Why?
No,
because
that ain't how it works. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you was doing.
I mean, I was on the same shit. So let me ask. Let me ask.
He was cheerleading for the heifer the whole time.
No, I was on the same shit.
I know. It wasn't until he found out that situation when she supposedly emasculated this man and divorced him. All of a sudden now it changes.
All right. So,
yeah, Hank, and I think everybody shared that sentiment, but it wasn't because she was a single mother, and that's what we're talking about. It was because of the situation that we disagreed. I have nothing against homegirl. Like if we had to chop it up again, it's all good. But what I'm saying is that I had contention with the way the situation sounded like it went down based on the information because of how she described it. Right. She was saying that she couldn't. This was her talking. This is based on the information that she gave us. That when she, was back over here, she couldn't give. In my opinion, which it ain't my business, but I'm just going because she put her situation on Front Street, right? Which she was holding back, but then I guess she was. I don't know what compelled her to eventually come out, but the hesitance is already a red flag. But then when she finally did say it, nobody was in love with the details, right? It sounded to me, just based on the information she gave us, that she made some poor decisions and didn't do right by the brother and kind of left him hanging. That's how we felt about it based on the information. None of us don't have the whole story, but that's the inference that I think most men would make based on what they heard. And that's how we felt about it. So we were like, yo, no, I'm not with that. And I got into it, not like bad, like it wasn't beef, but we definitely had some contention on the panel as well too. You know what I mean? But it ain't no love lost never. I disagree with everybody every day. It's not a big deal. And we can move on from it. But what I'm saying is that I did disagree with her points. And based on the information, and I don't even have as much as, I don't remember as much. If I look back at the joint, if I was to review it, I know there was more, because that's not enough of a reason for me to have the contention I did. It was a lot of details that she said when she started to give the details about the story and how they broke up, when they broke up and stuff, that I emphatically disagreed with. So it was no judgment based on her being a single mother. And I don't think it's fair to try to push that narrative that it was because of that. It was simply based on how we felt she did to the man.
And the reason why I was praising
that wasn't the case what Darwin was defending. He said you broke up a family. That's what he said. He said you broke up a family because of the selfish decisions that she made about with this man, because he chose to move on, or he was cheating or something. She sit there and made a statement about. It wasn't like he was just. Oh, okay. I could be wrong.
She didn't say he was cheating.
Hey, yo, Trigger.
She said,
give him 50.
She said he felt emasculated.
I'll log off.
But I will tell you this, Hank.
Bounties ain't on, man.
I think saying that I was cheerleading is extreme. She was actually helping me with my point on abortion. The deletion argument that we were having for a very long time. And I think I stayed on it. And I think Trigger Mike can vouch. I actually stayed on that topic, just throwing questions out there, even after we transitioned from other topics, because it was just a sensitive topic for me. And she would come and kind of give a spin on it, because I think me, Di, and DJ was really going back at it with questions, and they wouldn't really never answer none of my questions. And I actually exposed the truth about how they really felt. And I didn't know that going in. I would have never asked the questions if I knew beforehand that they didn't believe that you were a human being or you was a life until after you exited the vagina. I did not know that. Once I came to know that, I was like, okay, now I know what I'm dealing with. And that's when I kind of transitioned to other topics. And we kind of got into how she brought a man over here and divorced him because of because the man felt emasculated. I still stand. I don't think I think you could still work through that. And I think I don't think it was Kenny who brought it out of him. I think Kenny followed up with the more exposing questions, but I think Sweeney was actually the one who kind of discovered it.
He was the catalyst.
Yeah. So it was crazy how it came out. I was like, wow, like, whoa.
What up, y'all?
So this gives you an example of what we deal with when we have women coming here who are not transparent. And until I'm proven otherwise, I honestly think the reason why these women are not transparent is because they made a shitty decision and they haven't learned from it. And they probably would make that shitty decision again. So they don't want to expose the truth. But then when you get the truth,
about rationalizing you. Let me ask. You got married in a church under biblical vows?
In a mosque, mashallah.
In a mosque. Okay. So that's even more intense right there. So now you came to a point where you made a decision that you weren't gonna honor your vow under Allah.
Correct. If you want to put it in that way, at a very basic level, yes.
It ain't basic.
It's a yes or no question, then the answer is yes.
I wanna let you know this is a safe space, and I'm not trying to be heavy.
No, I'm me. I'm a public figure. I don't have nothing about myself. I'm a shameless woman.
I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just trying to have a discussion.
Go ahead.
So now everything that you pointed out was listened to with intention. You gave a whole case for why you did not keep your vow. So
why I didn't stay in the marriage, correct?
Yes. Okay, then you tried to rationalize it's okay to be single mothers when you know that is not in the best benefit for the family, having just one side.
The resources of that mother and what that mother got going on. Oh yes, because guess what? I would rather a woman, not that I have this situation, but if the man of that house gets hooked on drugs, and he's stealing and beating and disrupting the household, it's much better for that woman to get out of that situation than it is to stay in that situation. And
I would agree
that in her home.
I would agree, but that's an outlier.
No. A lot of times when the women leave, it's because of for lack of a better word, violent situation. Violence in multiple ways. A woman is not going to choose to raise a child by herself. She doesn't have to. No. Every woman want to be with her or whoever she just births out of her body. She wants that family, but if the conditions don't
allow me to respond to you,
then why would she stay? For y'all,
allow me to respond to you. P-Ray, the majority of women that seek divorce to leave relationships is not because of what you just said. We've gone over this a plethora of times.
Are you a
That's
woman?
not the reason. What you
You're not a woman. You don't know why we're choosing to
Okay,
be
no, I
single
was
mothers.
speaking on the ratio that you just tried to
Correct.
justify.
But I'm saying when I say abuse,
Well, I don't have to be. I don't have to be a woman.
Abuse can be
P-Ray.
verbal. It can be mental. You don't get to
P-Ray.
qualify with the abuse she's
No.
leaving. That
Okay,
woman is leaving
P-Ray.
abuse when she leaves that man, or what
I
she
am not-
qualifies as abuse. You don't get to
P-Ray.
qualify that for women.
P-Ray. I
And
am not
judge their
condoning
families.
a
Come
man
on now.
beating. I'm not condoning a man being physically violent with you, being a drug user. As for me giving him a space that he could do that to you, so you have to leave. I'm going to the percentages. I don't have to be a woman being single with children, which is not conducive percentage-wise for a healthy home life. I just gave you my testimony. I was raised by a mother that was mentally and physically abused. Punished for that.
So let me.
And you should be.
No, I want to clear that subject because I don't think you understand me. This is what I was discussing with my partner as you were speaking. It's not necessarily the thought of breaking up the homes. So my grandmother, my father's mother, she had. Let me finish because I listened to you and I listened and got some extra help to respond to this. What I'm saying is, once a woman feels attacked in her home or she feels unsafe in her home, she has the right to preserve herself. We got all these shows out here about people unaliving their people. So hold on. So women get out of situations that they feel uncomfortable.
You never heard me say that, but you're standing on that.
And what we talking about, love? And then the person said, "I'm a hyena and I'm a long line of hyenas, but we ain't broke ones or ugly ones."
P-Ray, the conversation is up here.
Wow.
It's been me my.
So, like
I'm gonna
I
keep
said
it
before,
real, bro. I've never seen her be that unbearable.
About that situation. Go ahead, Law. My bad.
My bad, bro. Man, I've just never seen her be that unbearable, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was ridiculous. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? It was ridiculous. She wouldn't let the man get a word out. You know what I'm saying? She say, "I listened to you." No, you didn't. You cut him off every time. And then on top of that, like, you were wrong. You were dead ass wrong. You know what I'm saying? Stop giving all these excuses. Women leave because they hypergamous. You know what I'm saying? 75% of women leave marriages, and it ain't because of no damn abuse. You dig what I'm saying? Let's stop it with this old how we think this is abuse. Y'all calling everything abuse now. Like, stop it. Like, get over it. Like, stop it.
So let me jump in here real quick because I was the other end of the onslaught on that. So I think we got the context wrong a little bit, Hank. Just to stay on topic real quick, this is not really a war on single mothers. It's a war on baby mama mentality. There's a huge difference between baby mama and single mother. We don't really like baby mamas like that, but it's really the mentality of the baby mama has infected so many of our women, and it's destroying our homes, and they teaching it to the younger ones. We got 6th and 8th graders talking about I don't want to get married. I can just collect child support if I had a baby. So we staging a war on baby mama culture, and sometimes that gets misconstrued because the reason you can tell that most men will accept a woman with children is because widows have a higher remarriage rate than most women, I believe, than divorced women. Right? So men will actually accept a woman that comes with children, just depend on how she behaves. That baby mama culture that I'm talking about, it has a lot of entitlement behind it. And shout out to P-Ray and everything. I was cheerleading her too. She was dope. And she just made one mistake. She made one mistake, and I don't even blame her for it because I see it all the time on these panels. Being a single mother is an insecurity for them. They can't deal with that. So the second that comes out to the forefront, and the reason she started to get a little bit attacked by Kenny, I think I even jumped in there, by Darwin, is because just because we feel insecure, we don't defend bullshit. We have to have a boundary, especially as men. There's single fathers right now on this panel. If somebody came up to you and asked you, is this the right way to do it? Would you do this all over again this way? No. Men have to be objective and be like, nah, I'd have stayed with the woman, man. You know, I'd have made it work. The kids need me in that house. That's the way men talk. So we expect women to be that objective, but they cannot do it. They refuse to because it's an insecurity for them. So what they all want to pretend to do is pretend that they are the exception, and they want to cancel and dominate the conversation. That's why they're always bringing up abuse.
Yeah,
that's what we don't like.
It's some men that do.
So, Mike, you're proving what I said was right. What I said earlier. It wasn't about the situation, and it wasn't about the her leaving because of whatever the situation because he feeling emasculated. The whole thing was about her being a baby mama.
No,
that's what I said.
He didn't play all the clips, but what she did was her and DJ were going back and forth all night. As soon as she heard the word single mother, she jumped on that side and started to defend things that were against everything else she said. So she was anti-baby deletion, saying that our babies need a chance to be born. She was like standing on a mountaintop with her fists like this. And then instead of doubling down on the rhetoric and saying our children need to be raised in two-parent homes to make sure they are socially, emotionally, and behaviorally well-adjusted, because of her insecurity, she jumped on the toxic side simply because it was a pain point for her. That's not mature, bro.
It's
not
bridge
mature.
she hadn't crossed yet in her own
That's
life.
not what I'm saying, though. Listen to what I'm saying. Dawa was pressing, and Kenny was pressing the issue about her being a single mother. And what the statement she made, a single mother could raise a child. And I sit there and accused, I said, Dawa, you was on this woman about this shit. And that clip that J.I. showed proved to what I was saying. They just y'all said nothing about emasculation no more. Go ahead, bro.
I still stand on that. Like, I don't think a single mother, I don't think a woman should be raising a kid on her own. I don't.
The key
I
thing
think
that brought up,
I agree with that. I think we need to
flipping
get
again.
I don't care if you had a real, I don't care if you had a legitimate reason to leave.
I don't care.
You still shouldn't be raising that kid on your own. There should be a father figure in that household. That's just what I believe.
Is he not flipping again?
No. This is no.
Okay.
So
can I ask you a quick question? You said your partner. Are you with man, woman? I'm just being
This is
respectful.
my
to the
friend
conversation.
Marcus. That's why I said my partner, like my friend. He came to this church so that we can be in this neutral space and do this show.
Oh no, I was just needing clarification because
No,
you
I'm
said
talking
me and my
about my partner.
partner.
That's why it's two names right there.
Like homie.
My homie,
Yeah.
my guy, my
Okay, well,
compadre.
it's not a problem to just get clarification for smoother transition within the
No,
conversation.
we talked about this, but you just got here. No, Marcus brought me to this space. We in this to understand that women not just choosing this, it is the act of self-preservation. I'm telling you because I've seen it. Now, my mother's side, my grandparents were married 32 years. My mom and daddy met when they were 12, and my daddy died on my mama's 55th birthday. Okay, that's all I know is stable marriages. But I understand it on both sides because I've seen it on both sides. And what I'm saying is the women who choose to leave those situations are doing so for self-preservation and not in a selfish way.
That's another
but
word for selfish.
to take care of themselves and their children. No woman is leaving a man that got a healthy, stable, happy home just to be a single mama out here.
What about the
Nobody
child?
wants that for themselves. That's not a choice.
What about
So
the child?
according the problem with that, which Kenny is already articulated, was that those are outliners that you're describing, right? Statistically, that's not what women are actually reporting. They're not reporting abuse. They're not reporting that their significant other just all of a sudden decided to be a hardcore drug user. They're leaving because of, in the very beginning, it's just hyper individualism. You choose your happiness over the welfare of the child, and it's damn selfish. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the majority of cases. We don't want to really dig into the outliers.
Motherhood over that marriage. And like I said, that's okay. Women can do that. Again, if you choose to be a good mama over being a good wife, that's your business because your investment is in those children. That's it. And if you can accept it, okay, we don't got to keep arguing about it. That's my opinion that I came here with. We're not going to change it.
So the problem
it's
is
really-
we're promoting breaking up families. That's what we're trying to get away from,
No,
right?
we want
We want to know
families.
what's wrong
We push
with
those
our
babies out
community.
of our vaginas. We want a family. We want the pictures. We want the matching pajamas. We want it all. Oh my God, we dream about how this baby is gonna look like this man we made love to. You understand? This is what
Modern day women are exhibiting, right? What they're doing is mating with this man and then that man, collecting, just bone collecting. Cases they're not vetting properly. They're not going according to men that they would be able to build a life with, build a family, build a legacy with. They are choosing men that look good, that sound good. He talk cool. He getting money. That's what women are looking for. And then they get pissed off because this guy already has 3 baby mothers and he
about no other woman in her situation. That's not mine. I'm talking about
That
myself.
majority of
What
them
I'm
are
saying-
walking away.
yeah, but we're talking
But
about
that's
majority.
anecdotal,
We could
you
all
know.
have
We are talking about why women. This
That's
is the reasons that
none
women
of
are
those are
initiating
reasons.
divorce.
None of those are reasons to divorce.
those are reasons.
Every last one of those are stupid.
You know, you can.
Breadwinner have to be the
As
somebody.
A lot of
Talk
men
to your
deny
wife.
therapy. A lot of men deny therapy.
It'd be nice if we could find what I said. I don't even know if I even spoke on it, to be honest with you.
So everything I said was true. Everything I said was true. She stated that said individual brought her there. I said what I said. Asked for question wise, broke it down chronologically, showed how this woman was selfish. Hink, I see what you're saying, but she stood on, she died on the hill saying that when I gave her, being a single mother is not the best ratio wise to raise a child. She fought it. Suppose I got money. Suppose I do this. What about isms? Then we found out more that she was not a virtuous wife. It was all good when she was in Senegal and he was doing everything to protect her, care for her, feed her, keep a roof over her head. When she came to America, she stated, we have not heard from him, that she felt that he felt emasculated after she did the movie role and then had to make space. Then she tried to quantify the majority of women leave because they get SA and still don't want the correction from people that talk about it all the time or willing to cite it, go on mute, find the numbers, and then readdress the situation. I know it.
But Kenny, that's not
we got
that's
to
not my
let go of.
Conversation never went back there. See, that's the problem. The conversation never went back to the original, the root of the problem. Her emasculating the man and her leaving. That never been back there. The whole conversation stayed on this single baby mama thing. And that's why I accused Darwin of first she was cheerleading for, and now you went to soon you found out this information, all said, are you against her? Because she talked about she was a single mother and how a single mother can raise a child. Don't need
if you look at the clip, if you look at the clips, and I think the guys that was on here can vouch. I wasn't with her when she was talking about how she emasculated the man and divorced him. That's whenever I flipped my card over. I was like, oh, what? I sit here and try to give hope to the men in my audience every week on how if they marry, and vet correctly, you know what I'm saying, there's hope that the relationship will last. But then when I hear stories like this, I kind of feel some type of way. I have to stand against it. And then when a child came into the picture, I didn't even have to fucking get on the mic for real. The gentleman that was on the panel was handling it well. I think I may have gotten there later or maybe sometime earlier, but for the most part, the guys that was on the panel were hitting on all cylinders. And I would just be a echo chamber. They were articulating themselves very well. They was pushing the point. And shockingly, she was exposing more. She's now, don't get me wrong, her political views, all of that stuff was very sound and in line with what I believe. But once it start coming over to the side where marriage and children, that's whenever I had to kind of pull away and kind of address it accordingly.
Yeah, man. Let me just add this, man.
Oh, I got a quick question. So, and I agree with Darwin. I believe in the Bible and Scripture. If you make those vows, then hey, you got to stick it out. But we have seen, even for us men, we have seen scenarios to where sometimes that is the best thing to do. I don't know much about his situation, but I'm sure, at some point for him, it was like, okay, the safest and best thing for me to do is to either accept it or to, just walk away from it. So in those cases of where she may be potentially being abused or whatever the case may be, I wasn't there to chime in for that part of it. But
Yeah,
are
she
we
didn't
saying
she didn't say that. She didn't. That's not what happened. She explained the reason why we were able to go at it is because she literally broke down her reasoning for it, and we disagreed with her reasoning for it. That was the problem. And you could agree with her reasoning, but but that's not why. It wasn't us just judging out of nowhere. She gave us facts that we so happen to disagree with, right or wrong, and we could still be wrong about it. But we're not. That was the reason, because we disagree with how the story and the details of her story went down. When they started, they was kind of grilling, I guess, if you want to call it that, or whatever. And more and more details came out and I even pressed it because she was saying that she had no shame, and I brought that up. So we were all kind of egging her to bring more details, which could be considered right or wrong, right? But once you use your particular scenario as a defense, now you have left yourself open for details, because now we need context. If you're going to bring your personal situation up, I never bring anyone's personal situation up initially, but if someone has already been transparent about it, then you can't, I'm not going to allow you to give select details that support your narrative. Now we have to get into the details, right? That's important to me. So it was because of, I just disagree with her story, and most of the gentlemen disagreed with how her story played out. We didn't just come out of nowhere and say, "Oh, well, damn, she's a single mom, F her." It wasn't none of that stuff. We just disagree with how she told the story. We were like, "Damn, that's how you coming?" Because she didn't. We asked. I'm pretty sure abuse was mentioned. Like, we asked, "Did he abuse you? Did he whatever?" She didn't say any of that, and
she hinted towards it.
So did anybody actually see how the father figure in her life, or any type of father in her background, or anybody to show
I
up?
mean, I don't think we got into that.
Because that could have been, an issue, and the reason she responded the way she responded, because most women who generally typically don't have a father figure or a father in their life, these are some of the things that they go through in their life with being
Yeah, she said she had a dad. Her parents are married and stuff. They met when they were 12. But you know what I mean? Another thing too, another different perspective to embrace is that we were cheerleading her because we thought she was very smart. I thought she was dope. I was going off in the chat when she was talking. And one of the things we got to do is when women present themselves, and when anybody presents themselves like that, you expect a certain amount of objectivity from them on all subjects. So that one, and I need y'all to understand that this is a serious pain point for women. When it comes to the single mother thing, most of them tend to melt down and they are no longer objective if they are a single mother. It's unfortunate because, I mean, she was cooking all night long. But this is the one thing I want to say about the abuse thing. And they know they got us when they say that, because then we'll get called out for victim blaming or not being sensitive or having a lack of empathy. I want you to notice, because I've been doing this YouTube thing for a minute now. Whenever they talk about it, most of them talk about it in third person. She said some women go through abuse. She didn't say I went. She said some. They talk about it in the third person just to shut all of us up so we can't talk about anything anymore. So that's why I kind of be like, no, don't do this. You're too smart for this. Right? So anything that I've ever done wrong in my life, ask me about it, and I will tell you it was objectively wrong. I would not do it again. I wouldn't promote it to my children because I'm trying to raise better humans than I was on this earth. That's the type of objectivity I expect from intelligent people, right? They challenge everything, even the things that they've done. So, it's really more of a salute to her, like, hey, we see you out here. You may have done some things. Let's not even call it a mistake, but we move on. And we teach from a point of experience, right? So that's something we all do. As you know, I teach the college classes. I know other people that do it. I always teach from experience. This is what I've done wrong. Here's how you can sidestep that mistake and don't step on that landmine. So we got to push and challenge our women, because somebody used the word grace. All they know is grace. That's all they know. And to put it biblically, the reason Christianity is in the state it is now is because we've only ever taught grace and forgiveness. It's time we start teaching the wrath of God. And I bet you people start tightening up. Right? We do
Marcus,
we don't teach that way anymore. It's sad.
The only thing I wanted to say is I know right now you just said that she hinted at abuse. If that is true, I apologize. Right? Even though she's not here, I would tell her I apologize, because that's a different story. But I think if she were going to bring herself into it at all, then I don't think that she should have hinted. She should have just said that was it. She didn't have to get into it, because I would have fell the fuck back all the way. I'm not going to get no details. I'm going to just be like, oh, that's what it is? All right, cool. Nah, you justified. It ain't no question. And I don't think any of the men on the panel, if that was actually the case, that anybody would press her beyond that, because I don't think there's a single man on this panel that would tell a woman that she is supposed to stay in an abusive relationship. I don't think any of us would do that. So females, just understand, any female who's considering coming on the panel or whatever, it's a safe space when it comes to that. If you want to infuse yourself into it, right, your personal situation, and get beyond objectivity, just understand extremely important. If you don't want us to keep prying, and you say, but you can't say I'm an open book, I have no shame, and then leave out details. That's crazy. So if she would have said
that's why I really when she said that, like personally, I think it's stuff I know it's stuff she didn't want to discuss online for whatever reason. Maybe her daughter might see it sometime. I don't know.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
But I advised her, like, bro, you shouldn't, like, don't even go down this road. But with that, I'm an open book.
Yeah, because you invited us at that point. You invited us. You know what I'm saying? So it's fair game. Once you say that, you have invited us. If she would have said, look, I've dealt with abuse, but I'm not getting into that, that's it. Everybody gonna shut up, and we'd be like, oh, nah, you justified. Hell no, we out of here. Like, nah, we're not digging. Me personally, and I will vouch for every man on this panel, I don't think there's a single man on this panel that would have pressed her beyond that, because we ain't not gonna say, yo, you need to stay in a relationship that's abusive.
So to my understanding, if a woman is abused, or if she did everything the correct way, and we don't know the story, you guys feel as though she should be able to date how she want to date, like she's the exception.
What do you hold on? What do you mean?
Yeah,
by
I'm sorry, rephrase that.
Okay, like I'm gonna play an example.
Fortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband. It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my.
I don't want to play too much of this, but basically a popular content creator known for teaching women how to become a trophy wife says her husband allegedly essayed the 2- and 4-year-old daughters, and also did her in 4 times in the beginning of the marriage. So when I'm asking this question, because my bad, Marcus. When I'm asking this question, I've had women reach out to me where they're presenting these situations where, like, every single mother, well, every woman that's left their marriage is not necessarily like chose to do that. There was some unforeseen circumstances, and we even had someone on the panel that say that they left because of abuse. But before they disclose the information, they're put into a box which they don't think is fair, which was Hink was hinting to. It's like he sees this happen on panels. It may not happen every single time, but it happens so often. So the question I'm asking is, And Trev alluded to this already, that these women are excused, but sometimes these women don't want to come forward with this information. So how do we handle that when women do come on a panel and they are and they have gone through the situations, but they don't want to disclose everything, as Marcus hinted as well. Like some people just don't want to, it's not for the public, but they are put into a box. So what do you guys have to say about that?
I'll just say this.
I'll be honest with you.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Man, we gotta respect. We have to respect each other. I think one of the things that we come across in these spaces is that people are trying to one up the other person. So if we're able to respect each other as human beings, as people, as a black man, as a black woman, if we're able to do that, then I think that we'll be able to create those safe spaces, because we see it with men and women where there's something that they are emotional about or triggered by. And if you poke at that constantly, then that person is going to react. And be it if they be it fight or flight, however it is. As far as with her, we already saw that she was a very engaging and debatable person. So once y'all got to that point of something that, if she divorced, I'm positive that that's tough for any person to go through. Even if she did make the choice off of whatever it was that she was experiencing, the fact that you're going through a divorce, that has to be a touchy subject. So at that point, of course, she's going to defend herself. But I think if we create that space to where people are allowed to feel comfortable, because I've even been on a couple shows here where I really want to ask this woman more questions, because what she's saying, it doesn't make sense. But it's like, no, I'm not going to do that, because now I'm gonna be exposing something that she doesn't want to be seen to the world. So there's no reason to do that, because we all already see that, oh, okay, man, this motherfucker lying, or she's covering it up. So I don't think that it's a reason to go for the jugular, to get a point across.
And I'll say this, and I'm really being real with this. If I check my mental Rolodex, it's really in all how the women show up here. Because remember, we only know the information they volunteer. They volunteer the information because most of the ladies that we do end up having this a bit of contention with, there's a lot of misandry involved in their conversation because of maybe how a man left them. So the way that they respond to anything circling around single motherhood, baby daddy, it starts to take in a bit of an aggressive tone. And what I'll say the women need to do is they also need to read the room. They need to read the room. That lady was on, like most of these women, for some reason on this network, they'll end up on a panel of involved fathers and husbands, but they still talking shit to us like we the baby daddy that left them. So they don't read the room well at all. Like, it was me, Trev, Dar. It was a bunch of husbands. Who the hell you talking to with all that? And a man ain't going like, that's why so it's just like, you can see the hurt every time they talk about a situation that involves the man that hurt them. You know what I mean? So think about all the women we know that do have children, that were married, got divorced, or the man left them. There's a certain level of humility when they talk that makes us like them more, right? When we see them in the back, we're like, hey, what's up? We'll never disrespect them. We kind of protect them on panels, if you really want to be honest. But it's the ones that take that misandrist approach, that are so guarded, so defensive, so insecure. They invite that negative energy because they want smoke with all men. Like, we're the ones that trespassed against them. So I think we all need to be a little more knowledgeable. I definitely don't want to get up here to hurt anybody, because that's not, I don't even bring that stuff up, to be honest.
All right, give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second, Darwin. Let me just get to beer the conversation, and then I'll come to Darwin. Go ahead, beer the conversation. Welcome to the show.
Well, if you coming as a young woman, if you coming on the show and you want to get into a conversation that involves your personal life and you're saying you're an open book first, this is the internet first. As a cognitive individual, and I'm pretty sure some of us, some don't, but a lot of us do have intelligence. So if you're going to come up here and you're going to cry and you're going to give your problems, and again, if you're on a panel full of men, you have to, like the brother said, read the room. You got to understand that by you not knowing who you talking to, certain things that you say can trigger certain people. And then we as men sometimes too, and I'm not taking up for nobody, but we as men sometimes, even because by us being involved fathers and by us being husbands and by us having successful relationships and being successful in life, sometimes we don't take the time to really understand this woman and what she got going on. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time, but sometimes we might, when she's talking about the disenfranchisement of men that she may have dealt with, even though we haven't been that experience for women, we sometimes don't step outside the box and realize, well, damn, maybe she got a point. Maybe she is dealing with some of the, and then of course, it's how she carries herself as well and the things that she do in her life and the energy and the people that she bringing around her. But we still sometimes have to step back and just realize, well, maybe certain situations bring certain circumstances to certain individuals. So if she was to come on, man, I would give a lending ear, but I'm not a counselor. I would direct that young lady to, try to seek some type of therapy or some type of, seek the proper professional to help them with their problem. But I would be an ear and I would listen and I wouldn't prejudge. I would do more listening than I would do talking, because me saying or trying to solve her problem, it really ain't gonna work and it's not gonna be a solution, because in the end, and I'm not going to be biased, but she a woman and women are emotional. And, when they hear us talk, they think we either downgrading, biased, degrading, or we ain't shit because we a man.
All right. I appreciate that bearded conversation. Go ahead, Darryl.
Well, me personally, I come from a different angle. And it might be the reason why I might be a little bit more pressing, if that's the word we want to use here. I don't want a woman to come up here. If she made poor choices, they might be poor choices under my understanding. Those choices might not be poor choices. They might be justified. And I think that's where we kind of get tangled. If she felt like being a single mother and leaving her family because she felt like she just didn't want to be there no more, and it didn't matter with the kids, I don't want her to feel bad. If that's what you feel was the right choice, I want you to stand on that shit and just be able to take the responses you get from the panel and just be open to disagreement. I'm going to be the one to disagree. I'm going to voice my disagreement on that because of what I stand on. But I don't want you to feel like you can't come up here and stand on the bullshit you believe in. If you believe in the bullshit, if you believe in deviating, if you believe in allowing the devil to sway your decisions, that's in the worst interest for the people, for the community, for society, I want you to embrace that and come with it. We need to be able to have this platform so we can talk about it and point out who is fucking up society. And we've been doing that very well. And anytime I'm able to get somebody to come up here and state it, I want to have the conversation, not just to pound you in or press you. I want to try to understand why you think like that. First, I want to understand why you think like that. That's my angle. I already understand that you fucked up. You made a bad choice, and you probably would, considering how you speak, you probably would make the same choice again if you had the same decision in front of your face. Now I want to try to understand why, but that's when I hit a wall, because that's when they don't let you in. They don't let you know the why because it's so shameful. And they lack accountability so bad, they don't want to point to that. Because then when they say why, then I got to look at the mirror and be like, damn, I am really a terrible person. So that's when I fall back and I'm like, okay, well then I already know what time it is. And we just move on. And we have women on here on the panel all the time, every week, that have made these poor decisions. We're able to get through other conversations and topics without even revisiting those issues and look at them like that human beings and fellow panelists just like anybody else, and just move on and say hey and goodbye. How you doing and how was your day? But at the end of the day, I still know that you're a fucked up person because of the decisions you make. And that's fine with me. Yeah. It's all about the outcomes you make, outcomes you want. If these are the outcomes you want, that's your life. That's cool. But in my eyes, and from what I believe, it's fucked up. And sometimes I'm gonna state that if we come into a topic that shed light on those decisions, and I would think somebody would do the same if I'm the one over here fucking up.
All right, give me one. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead.
Now I was going to try to bring Fox. Fox, Dad, can you come on camera? I'm going to bring you up for a second. All right, Beard, I conversation. I'm going to drop you down for a second, sir. What's going on, brother? What you got? Welcome to the show.
How you doing, sir? I've been on here before, especially with Trigger Mike. I think it's in line with Bearded talk, Bearded conversations talk about, because we talk about this all the time. We got to start as men, like, holding both sides accountable. And what she's talking about, I watched the clip. I was on the way home, and I actually dropped in because Bearded conversations, we go way back. But no, I mean, we got to start balancing these decisions. I think Kenny hits on it a lot. Y'all be nitpicking with him, and I'm a long time listener, but he got some good points. He don't be petty. We gotta change it up. You know what she was talking about. It was kind of off the chart, and I don't want to stay here long because I got to go to work tomorrow. But I wanted to drop in because I saw who I saw, and I know some people in here. But as men, look, I know we got daughters, we got sisters, mamas, all that. And Darwin, you a brother like me, but honestly, we gotta change how we address the situation of equality. It's been going on for a long time. We gotta fix it. I'm gonna leave it there, sir. Or as my brother would say, put a duck out.
What you mean? What do you mean by changing the equality?
We just don't do it the same. We don't do it the same. I think.
Are you saying we don't address men in the same intensity?
We address men all the time. I think that's always addressed. But when we have these conversations, we sort of shift it always back to, I hate to say it, chivalry. And, hey, we're in a different age. And if we don't start teaching not only our boys, because we've been doing that for years, but our women too, the same things, we're repeating the same thing.
Chivalry.
Yeah, chivalry.
So you're saying that men shouldn't do chivalry?
So let me ask you this question. Which is stronger, the woman or the wine?
You said the woman or the wine?
Yeah, which is stronger?
The woman.
Old saying goes, I never thought about the way. You might be right, but I disagree. It depends on that person and what their objective is. But a lot of us are still stuck on the strongest objective in our minds and perspective as the woman. I have a son, so that's first and foremost. Not a daughter yet. So I'm really focused on something else, but a lot of us as men, we have to actually hold both genders accountable. So it's tough. And that's why I asked that question about which is stronger. Because
are you saying I don't hold men accountable?
Okay, go ahead.
Well, what I'm asking is when you reference me, are you saying that I need to, when you reference me and the term equality, when you talk about equality, are you saying that I don't go at men equally, men and women equally?
Bro, no, you don't.
Can you elaborate?
I mean, okay, I don't want to elaborate because one, I know you're part of my fraternity. Two, I just don't want to do that. I did notice, like, there's a lot of arguments that are counterclaims, rebuttals that you've done in the past. Just saying. And I'm like, dude, but they, people like Kenny, sometimes Viz, he'll go backwards, I mean, I understand y'all love the ladies, but let's keep it a buck, as y'all say, right?
We got to my whole thing, especially on this platform. This is King's Talk. So me personally, I don't see the point in having a primary focus on addressing women, because if we address men, then those women would have no choice but to abide by what it is that we set forth. So if most men's, and we've agreed to this, that most men's their standards are in the trash, then that's why most women, we can say, are acting and behaving at that point. So I think that if we hold men accountable with where it is that they're sticking their dick, the females that they're entertaining, I understand we, recreational women have their place. I always joke all the time with Hank, the world needs hoes. But if we address men and tell them and teach them to hold themselves accountable to the highest level, then yeah, I mean, the women have no choice but to conform. That's my perspective. So that's why I don't focus primarily on scolding and telling women what it is that they need to do, because that's not my position. My position is to tell men and hold kings accountable for what it is they need to do, and allow for the Jezebels to be in the street.
All right. Well,
hold on, man.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
jump in there before I get out of here, man. I ain't talked in a minute, bro. And here's one of the things, Joe. I wasn't involved in that panel that day when when they was kind of going back and forth. But I'm gonna keep it real. I like to keep anything that comes across my lap that I don't agree with, I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna hold whoever accountable, man, woman, whoever the hell may be. If I disagree with it, y'all know I'm gonna speak on it, even if I have to interject here and there. You know what I'm saying? And as far as with I'm a big proponent of keeping marriages together. So when I start hearing women talk about and brag about how they left their marriage, I don't see any excuses for that. You're wrong. Plain and simple. Don't try and throw this whole narrative of women leave because of being abused and this, that. Stop it. If you look at the numbers, more women are more abusive in relationships. It's just not really promoted out there. You know what I mean? Men aren't running
I'm with
to
you on that. Yeah,
the
it's not-
police and what have you. You know what I'm saying? So let's stop with this whole they leaving because of abuse. No, they're leaving because they think the grass is greener on the other side and they think something's better out there. You know what I'm saying? And they're not upholding their vows. Let's stop with this whole, oh, this happens and y'all don't know how they be feeling. That's because y'all think you're going to be happy every day. That's not what life is about. That's not what taking vows is about. You're not going to be happy every day. Happy is a fleeting emotion. And what you need to focus on is your duty and building these families. Y'all start building these families, having these children. Then y'all start leaving because the wind didn't blow the way you wanted it to that day. That's bullshit. And I'm not with it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I really got. It's late. I got to get ready, but that's all I got, brothers.
I'm mad you got to leave because I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm sorry, sir, but we talked about this a lot of times, bearded conversations. Self-efficacy. We lack it. I'll put it that way. When it comes to both men and women, we lack it. We choose, and I guess it's sensational, right? But we pick and choose which battles we want, especially on these platforms. And my brother on the side, before he gets out of there, he hit on it. We got to stop being petty. We got to stop cherry picking. And especially us biblical people. I think Kenny hit this 1,000 times. But he's not Mr. Petty. Sometimes I'd be riding to work, getting ready to teach physics. And I'm like, yeah, keep fighting a good fight, bro. I hear you. We have to pick a side. And if it's going to be, I'll just tell a man to man up or play the game. All right, we're going to keep having the same thing. Because we've been doing that since the 1960s, Black Dynamite and all. We got to change up our strategies. We got to play chess. The women have to be held to the same level of accountability as men. And we got to stop silencing or doing censorship. He said it dead on. I'm going to leave it there.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I do hold and I attempt to every chance I get. It's just, unfortunately, some of the brothers on the panels that I talk to are just phenomenal. A lot of them are well, straight up dudes. A lot of them are just, they're carrying themselves like men should. And I'm actually proud that we have guys that come on this panel that we can say that about. So maybe if we had more men that were fuck ups, then you would be able to see me operating that area. But we just don't. So, and that could be the company that we keep, and JR is responsible for that. You know, he just keeps a really solid group of guys. And I would say I look for any nuance, and I try to talk about that. So, for example, if this lady that was in this video clip that he just paid, now, for the record, I don't condone SA or whatever, abuse, predators, whatever. I'm totally against it. It's totally against everything I am. But there's things that stand out that I do feel like I have to address just to get an understanding of how these things could have been prevented. And the way my mind would work is, she stated that in the beginning of her marriage, she was SA'd multiple times. My mind automatically went to, okay, were the children born already? Maybe not. It was a 2-year-old and whatever. So me thinking, I always think in prevention. I'm like, well, damn. In the beginning of your marriage, you saw this going down. You could have saved those kids the trauma if you would have peeled out in the beginning of your marriage when this was happening. So you kept a predator and you had children with a predator, which means you exposed your children to a predator. And this is the side, the comments and the tears are kind of, well, the people in the comments are not going to come to this because the tears are kind of going to push that away. But me, I have this military mindset where I'm able to see through all of that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's painful. It's hurtful. But this could have been prevented. And when we go to talk about how do we prevent this in the future, I'm already ahead of the game. And that's how I was able to get promoted so fast in the military. Because everybody was thinking about how the man leg got cut off. I was thinking about all of how many yards away or how many meters away was each mine in the field so that I can have a great calculation on moving forward down this route. I was ahead of the guys, and that's why they put me in the platoon sergeant or the leader of my squad, because I was always thinking, I didn't care about the blood coming out. Put a tourniquet on that shit, put his ass on medevac his ass out of here, let's move forward. I know their game now. I know how to get around the enemy. That's my mindset. And that's just how I move on these panels as well.
I was kind of with you on one part. I mean, it just, the text, I read it like 3 times because it was saying, you know, he essayed his wife in the beginning of the marriage. And I was perplexed by that. You know, I didn't want to focus on it, but it kind of made me wonder, like, what is the dynamic of the relationship to where, you know, the kids is inexcusable, ain't nothing. That's, you know, we don't even need to address it. Everybody knows that's wrong as hell. But your wife, how do you like essay your wife 4 times? Like, what's that about? It brings questions to mind. Like, you know, what is that? What is that?
Well, Trev, the answer to that was probably in the first sentence. She had a book or a course or whatever on how to be a trophy wife. So with that, her mindset is that the only value that I have is my looks. That's all that I'm gonna bring. So the man, the only type of man that's looking for that is a man that values nothing else about the woman but the likes. You know what I'm saying? Or, well, the looks rather. So he's going to abuse that. He's going to do exactly what it is that he did. So in that case, I'm like Darwin, but I may have more empathy in certain situations. But in that case, is you literally set yourself up for that. You know what I'm saying? To be put in that position. Of course, at the same time, that's horrible, you know, and deplorable for a man to do that. I think that you should be castrated, you know, without question. But if you're placing yourself in that position, then there's only so much that we can do, that anybody can do. But
I get it. But it, you know, it's kind of recent that even was a thing, right? I don't even know if we want to talk about that. That is a recent thing. It was impossible. That was not a thing that was ever thought of legally, right? This is recent times where that is even an illegal thing to do, right? And I'm not saying that a man has the right to, but it was just so unthought of for a person to marry someone that they would want to deny, right? Like, why would you marry a person that you don't want to engage with? Where it gets to that point, like that, it just seems so wild to me.
I had an auntie, man, who loved this guy so bad. This guy had stolen a vehicle. He had so many warrants for his arrest, and he would come down there and pick her and the kids up every now and then. And they end up getting an accident because he ran from the cops with her and the kids in the car. And she's paralyzed to this day. But when I was younger, I didn't know, like knowing what I know now. I think my questions to her would have been like, how were you able to love this man so much to put your kids in harm's way? And then growing up and becoming an adult, I'm seeing it a lot. I'm seeing a lot of women staying with these men that are giving you signs that not only are they going to be harmful to you, they can be harmful to your kids. And I just never can put a finger on. And I think it's just something that men will never understand. I think women has an innate ability to be able to allow their children to go through endurance or trauma or abuse or whatever in exchange for their own individual connection with a man. And I think I'm gonna stand on that because I haven't seen any case where any woman kind of argued or gave me an explanation on why do you continue with this man when these kids are suffering, even after the fact, even after leaving, you know what I'm saying, or even deciding to leave in some situations, knowing the kids will suffer. Like it's like the kids' well-being is very the care for it or the attention to it is very minimal.
But now, so Darwin, in that same situation, though, you went against P. Ray for potentially doing the same thing.
Potentially doing what?
Her experience, right? Is she because
P. Ray came up
in the clip that
Dawn.
wait,
Remember
let
when
me
she
finish.
said, "I'm an alpha female."
In that
Remember
clip
that? Alpha
in the
female,
clip
that's
that
why
JR played, in the clip that JR played, she had mentioned the environment of her and her kids being affected by her husband.
Oh, I didn't hear that clip, and I was in the show. I didn't hear that.
She
But
didn't allude.
that's what I heard her say in
to
the
SA,
clip,
but she
when he
didn't put
ran
it on
back.
herself. You can't
But
lead
no,
with
I
saying
didn't
that you're
say
an alpha
SA.
female.
I said the environment that she spoke on with her and her kids.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you this: if had I heard any of that, where she worded it as, we were in an environment where it caused harm to me and my kids, and we had to get out. Anytime I hear something like that, I'm like, okay, that was a good idea. You get what I'm saying? But that's not what I heard.
Darwin, that was partly mentioned because she was getting grilled. So now that came out of nowhere. She shortly mentioned that. That's when I said I did give a disclaimer. This is a safe space. No one is condoning anybody putting their hands on you and those things. You understand? But you will be held to what you said. Before you said all of that, you came up saying I'm an alpha female. I'm this. You understand? Me asking you, or pretty much making the statement, you believe it's a healthy environment to be a single mother raising a child. She pushed back. Suppose I got money. Suppose I got this. Suppose I got that. No, 2 parents. That's the best environment for your child. Then when you get pushed back on, okay, Muslim woman, Senegal, you needed him over there. He did whatever he needed to do to make sure you were fed. You learned the language. Yeah, I had a business, keep a roof over your head. Now, when it comes to the U.S., she said he felt emasculated. We did not get to hear what he had to say. But I find it odd, a man that would give you his all, you just change continents and the whole dynamic changes.
Yeah, and I can give you one of my stories where I was being raised by my auntie, a single auntie, not a single mom, a step lower, a single auntie. You know, single aunties are worse than single mothers because single aunties, when they buy all the kids Jordans, you're gonna get the Pro Kids or the LA Gears or whatever with the lights or something. So you're a step down. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna cater to their own kids and kind of look at you as lesser or favoritism towards their own. So sometimes she would have boyfriends come over. And when we got in trouble, her boyfriends were able to beat us. And it was abusive. It wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And I would be hoping like, man, I hope that he'd do something wrong with it, where she can break up with him. She knew that we were hurting and in pain, but her love for him was so strong, it outweighed her love for us as kids. And we just had to deal with it until it was time for us to go live with my grandmother.
And I'm sorry to hear that you have to go through that, Darwin. You understand? That's a shitty existence, and I'm glad that you were able to achieve everything that you've been able to achieve. Knowing abuse like I've known abuse. You understand? So we get that. So we're not going to swing the paradigm. You can't present yourself as one thing, but when men who are discerning are able to see that you're not that thing that you're projecting, you can't become a victim. When we're able to see the truth, you should come in honestly. No one was picking on you. You weren't being dogpiled. We were holding that lady to what she said she was. And that was the truth. And then it went off the hills when her and DJ So Lovely went on their disagreement for however long they went on their disagreement. Because I actually thought progress was being had, even though she was being defensive. We got to the meat and potatoes of the conversation, and then that happened.
I think DJ was waiting. I don't want to speak for DJ because he's not here, but from my lens and my optics, it seemed like DJ was waiting on her because I think she was kind of losing. She was kind of cooked the whole show by P. Ray. P. Ray was cooking, and once DJ smelled blood and she started telling her story,
get her lick back.
Ooh, Lord, we couldn't even stop DJ. She was on her. What they say, like white on rice? I don't know if they say that no more. Bird shit on the black shoe. She was on her.
Go ahead, Trey.
Oh, yeah, I was saying to the man Fox that came up here, you know, one of the things I don't really like on here is the tone policing. Because what tends to happen is that everybody wants all black men to think one way.
Facts.
That's not beneficial at all to anybody.
Facts.
This space and what it has done is given the world a chance to know that we are not all the same. We have very differing views. And when he said we need a new strategy because it's not working, I 100% disagree. We just had a presidential election that showed you that the entire country is turning red than a mother. The whole country, a red wave. I would like to think that Kevin Samuels has something to do with that a little bit. Andrew Tate has something to do with that a little bit. Why? I'm just saying Lapeef Network has something to do with that. The people in this space, because men decided to say, stop canceling us. We're going to tell you our perspective and we are going to defend our position. All that does is make women choose a side. And we're still dealing with the most stubborn women. That's all that shows.
Trigger.
All right, white women sided with
election
them
already. What he was talking about is the tribalism that's up here.
Yeah.
Men
But
that choose
I'm
sides. Hold on. Men that choose sides and they know they dead wrong, but they choose sides just to have something to cling on to because maybe the IQ on the other side is way too high, and they don't like when somebody hold a mirror up in front of them. You understand? That has nothing to do with what some people see, and they're willing to call it out because they don't want to be part of that thing. It's not policing. He says certain things need to change, and those people know what they need to change. That's upon them. They let them pray on it.
No, he did kind of
Yeah,
make a
that's
general statement though. It was kind of generalized.
He was being more philosophical. I just don't think you were probably getting it. I know the brother. He wasn't saying what you. He was in agreement. He wasn't saying what you think he was saying. Trust me. You got it.
Yeah, because I'm just like, look, man. To be honest, we're all necessary. That's my point.
Facts.
We're all necessary. The super conservative black dude is necessary. Unfortunately, the simp might be necessary. I don't like that nigga. I really don't like simps, but he might be necessary to teach women a lesson. Have you not noticed that the favorite dudes in this space are the simps? But they're the same ones the women will say sneaking in their DMs, sending them D pics, right?
True.
So all of this is necessary for people to learn lessons, right?
But
remember we had a conversation last year about we need to bring back shaming.
Yeah, of course.
How can we do that? How can men champion that when you have another plethora of men saying, no, we don't need to do that? And just, let bygones be bygones, and if the women out order, just be empathetic and just let them go. Do what they do. Like, what do we really want? Do we really want to shame? And what is the whole point of bringing back shame? Is shame really going to work? Because from what I see, I think we come to a point where the bad behavior, people don't give a fuck.
Nah, bro, shame works. But the reason why, it's crazy because I hate to keep bringing this up, but shame, the people that it works on pretend to be shameless. If it didn't work, they wouldn't use it in reverse. If shame didn't work, what is cancel culture?
Mm-hmm.
It works. It just needs to be properly placed, right?
Well, why is every response, oh, your mother black, or your aunties and all that? Why are you talking about them? Don't you got a black mother? Like,
you know what it is? You know what it is? It's because it's not even just the dishing out of shame, it's the acceptance of it. Too many men accept the shame because really we all have this underlying thing where we're trying to be liked. I don't give a damn if nobody like me. So what they don't want to do is they don't want to give up being the champion in the chat for actually standing on business. You see what I'm saying? So they'll accept it when they say your mother black. It don't stop me from saying anything, but the average person will be like, oh, the women don't like me. Let me chill out. I got to be good with the ladies. You know what I mean? So it's really
the thing is. So for example, I had a single auntie, single mom, whatever, raised me. They would say, well, how can you say that single moms or people who choose to be single by choice and not get married and have kids and all that stuff and be single mom? How can you come from a single mom and bash a single mom? Like, it's almost like saying, how can you come from a house full of crackheads and talk down on people who do crack when you came from? I don't get it. Like, how is that a way to combat what I'm saying, like, or the content I'm pushing? It just don't make any sense to me.
You know what it, and like this is one of the problems, and I think all the men up here, what we're actually doing, we're coaching. A problem that a lot of our brothers have is that they're not articulated. They're not able to articulate responses to complex questions and like that type of stuff. How can you be against single mothers when you came from a single mom? The quick, snappy, witty answer is, I'm the best person to tell you because I experienced it. But a lot of them get jammed up because they accept that shame. Like, oh, it's taboo for black men to talk negatively about their mother.
Yep.
It's not love for their mother. It's like worship, right? Because they raised them. So who better to tell you this is not an ideal way to raise a child than somebody that came from a single mother-led home? Right. But some of them get jammed up and don't know how to articulate that because they think they're going against the mother that raised them. That's the best person to tell you this is not ideal.
That's like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. My answer is always because I knew what it felt like to be in that situation, and I wanted my father to be there. I wanted the household to have everybody in there, and I knew how important that was to me. And I cried every day, damn near, because until I got older and I just became numb to it.
Yep.
I wanted that, and I know there's other kids out there that want that too. So when I see the behavior, it kind of like my spider senses tingling. And then I say to myself, well, what do I do? How can I get credibility for speaking on this
other than just that's where I came from. Well, I had to go out here and go ahead and create the circumstance and see if I could uphold what I push men and women to uphold. Can I go out here and find a wife, marry her, have kids after marriage instead of before marriage? And I was able to do that. So I kind of solidified myself in a way to speak on that. So there's that.
When you get a chance, get that book, Cry Like a Man, Jason Wilson. Read it.
Cry Like a Man, Jason Wilson. Man, what you gonna be surprised how many books I be reading, bro?
I ain't crying.
If you knew who Jason Wilson
okay, man. It's okay for us to cry sometime, man. See, we got
no. My kids make me cry. Like, my son kind of. I mean, they don't fall, but this little dude listen too much, man. That should be making me cry. Like,
man,
when you tell him to do something and he do it too well,
yeah.
He'd be like, "Daddy, did you see me?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
I just seen something, man. A couple of days ago, it was a little girl and her father, and she was asking, and she was telling her father how important he was to her, and he was like, "What brought all this about?" And she was like, "Well, I see other people at my school, and they don't have a daddy. I see people on the block that I play with, and they don't have a daddy." And she was like, "Man, I must be, like," she told him, she's like, "Man, I must be the most happiest person. You know what I'm saying? I must be perfect. My life must be good because I have a daddy." She was like, "Daddy, I love you." You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of times with this, I don't want to bash men or women, but taking accountability, man, I believe men do have to take more accountability. And I think now today we are taking more accountability because we got to understand that these kids and the women and we supposed to be their leaders. We supposed to be their comforters. You know what I'm saying? We are the first nurturers, even though I know women are classified as nurturers. No, we are the first nurturers. We are we are their leaders. If we're not doing that, that tends to bring up where a lot of these questions and situations and circumstances are happening from. Because I know a lot of brothers that treat women like shit. I know a lot of brothers that don't take care of their kids. I know a lot of brothers that do, but I'm just saying, but I see the difference in the family of the brothers that take care and the brothers that don't. Not saying that, we all individuals, because I came from a single mother household, but my father was still around, but he wasn't in the house. And some of the things that I went through, I experienced some of the same things that Darwin went through. I've been in group homes, man. I've been abused by my mama. I didn't let none of that didn't get to me. But I always told myself, I will not, when I have children, I will not subject my kids to seeing me with not being with somebody, with not loving a woman, with not showing them or not showing them that I get up and go to work every day. And this is what they need to do, saying, to be productive citizens and good people in the world. So I mean, it's all about your experiences and the things you go through, man. But I do believe us as men, we got to do a better job and step up. I think when we on these panels, I know we talk about certain women and we do, but I think we need to hold ourselves just a little bit more accountable for a lot of the situations and things that happen today.
Man, not a little bit. I would say a lot of it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because again, we're the ones that set the standard. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else has to abide by the laws that we set. So I wish that I could agree that that more men and this is in real life for me, that I do see that happening. But on social media, in the YouTube world, it seems like we don't see that happening often. One of the previous videos from last week, where they were saying that I think 55% of women have children out of wedlock or whatnot, and it's like, well, and the argument was, well, women need to wrap it up. Women are in control, but it was like, but we're the one giving them the seed, and there was so much pushback on it to where we couldn't. It seemed like we couldn't agree on this one simple fact. So I think when we get on these platforms and give pushback to something as simple as that then fucks up the men that don't understand that, or the men that can't think on that level. Is it impacts the lack of accountability for men to continue to go out and create the very broken homes that we're complaining about and talking about now. You
I
know,
want us
so
to be very careful with that, because
be
when we
careful
have
with
these
what.
discussions, real quick, we're pointing out stats. We're pointing out, if it does not work in your best interest, if you vet poorly, these are the outcomes that you would have. The same people that show you those dynamics, they said if you can find someone that is for you, that will be for you, is like hitting a lotto ticket. So the stories have to be rewound and listened to intentionally. We need to take feelings out of it and look at it logically. Because if you make a bad decision and you vet poorly, that could be the worst thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah. On my end, when I look at it, because I say, do we not hold men accountable? We're the very men that we want men to be. So I don't really understand when people say that. And
Well,
just
brother, I
like
wasn't talking about this panel. I was just talking about in general as a
no,
culture.
not you. No,
Okay,
I
yeah,
wasn't talking to you.
yeah.
I was just saying, like, when more ain't shit dudes show up, maybe we'll jump on their head, because it just be a bunch of husbands, fathers, and dudes that take care of their kids up here all the time.
So
But
what's the proper way to tell a woman?
here's what we're trying to get, though, Darwin. Here's what we're trying to get. I'm gonna be honest. The reason we keep belaboring these points and having to restate our position, we never get acknowledgement that wrong was done. We haven't even gotten past that part. In how many years? Nobody can sit here and be like, "Yeah, I was wrong." I've never heard that. I've never had anybody or women really just concede that once we get to the acknowledgement that we've done wrong and we can do better, then the conversation can move forward. We haven't even gotten that yet. So that's where we're kind of stuck. And that's really it's terrible, because I don't think a lot of the women on here know that the people that are trying to talk to them are the ones that actually love them. The simps just want to get in their pants, right? Because we think about this stuff, not just women that we're trying to date. These are our sisters, our cousins, our aunts. They're the one. A man doesn't die in a delivery room from them having a baby. They're the ones that have to change their life plan, their life goals. They got to put school off. They got to miss days from work. They are the ones left with a brunt of the heavy load in the beginning. So we're trying to extend them to let them know the urgency of why in the beginning you're up first. This is a major decision for you, because that dude that you just slept around with randomly, right? Because I got my coalition of men. We all squared away. We all straight. But she can go find some other knucklehead, right, to get her pregnant and then come complain to me that none of the men in my coalition want to marry her. That's where we kind of get in this thing where it's like we're always talking to women, because it's like, no, we want to extend to them that we understand that it's an urgency for you, and you're going to come to us asking us to save you. You're going to say, talk to the men, talk to this homie. No, I'm talking to you right now. I need you to understand how serious this is. Your body gets put on the line. You could die giving birth. You're the one whose money is going to have to get depleted if you can't get the child support. Somehow you end up with the short end of the stick. So, that's where we're coming from. It's not ever to absolve men of accountability. It's never to do that. It's to let them know that they take a brunt of the accountability up front. So we don't want that to happen to them.
All right, let me get 30 folks in there. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the show. What you got for us?
Man, what's going on, man? I don't know, man. It's supposed to be a man panel. It sound like a black panel. What up, Trig? I ain't seen you in a minute.
What up, bro?
There's no. I'm listening to you guys, and there's a lot of empathy, but there's no penalty. So, like, we gotta love them through it. For what? When you tell a man to hold a woman accountable, other men will tell you the penalty of you holding her accountable. Immediately. Man, you'll go to jail. They'll take your kids. Anybody but the daddy, right? My whole Facebook timeline full of girls looking for a babysitter. And I know they child father looking for their kid. My whole 2010s on Facebook was my high school peers finding their dads on social media. Like, I've been looking for you for 22 years.
Wow.
Anybody but the dad. It's my baby or her baby. It's not our baby. I'm not be concerned about that. There's no penalty. You can't talk to you can't shame a person with no penalty. Right? You can't correct a person with no penalty. Walking away is not a penalty. She's just gonna ruin my life. She's gonna leave you and come to me, and now I got to go through that bull. That's no penalty. Getting more penis is not a penalty. Until men come together and say, yo, this is a uniform way that we're gonna act. Whether it's done by fraternal bonds, religious backing, however you want to do it. And to men say, yo, this is what we're going through, this is what we're not going to accept. And if a man get out of line, we're gonna check him until you check her. And that's how it'll have to go. Because you trying to have a lot of this is individual conversation. Like, this is how I want to treat a girl. This is the things that girls, I don't care what girls go through. Look, bro, let me tell you something. I've talked to thousands of women. I ain't sleep with thousands of women, but I've talked to thousands of women. Since I was a kid going to the mall, getting phone numbers while I got my little bag of cookies. Over the course of my life, I've talked to thousands of women. Every conversation goes the same way. Me putting the phone on mute, every once in a while picking up like, word, that's crazy. Because I know the conversation. What she want to be when she grow up, or what the profession is now. If she want kids or she got kids. She'll ask me, she won't ask me my name. My name not important. She'll ask me what I like to do in my free time, only because she want me to pay for her entertainment. She'll tell me about her childhood grape juice. And then she'll tell me, I feel like I knew you my whole life. You told me your whole life. I didn't listen because all your stories are just like every other girl's story. And then at the end of that, we smash. And then she tells me about all the great guys in Trig Camp that she got waiting for 30 days while she smashed me for 29 and telling me how great Trig guys are. And then block my number on day 30. And I don't count. When she talk about she only been 3 relationships and ain't had none in 6 months, I don't count. And I'm cool with that. I don't think I'm a player. I think I was in the right place at the right time with the right line. I don't count. And I don't mind that, right? And for her, she can do that because there's no penalty. If there's no pregnancy, there's no penalty. You know what I mean? So until you guys start talking, and it's not even a woman conversation, it's a man conversation, because only men can evoke penalty. If you YouTube right now, if you put on YouTube right now, just put in black mom. You ain't got to put none behind and none in front of it. Put black mom. The first 200 videos will be child abuse. But the moment I say, yo, maybe you should take it to aisle 5. If she in aisle 5 beating her child because he wants some Fritos, maybe you should take it to aisle 5 and show her the love language in which she understands, oh my God, you're going to jail. She didn't go to jail. She's giving that kid's penalty. Why? Because she love him. Ain't that what your mom tell you when she whip you? She doing it because she love you? How much do you love her that you don't give her no penalty?
Man, I don't follow what you trying to say exactly, G. Just off the strength of you saying of you and maybe the analogy of you being on the phone with you put it on mute, come back, damn, that's crazy. Woo, woo, woo. You cracker. I don't know what you.
There's a
because
girls talking. No. Girls talk 2 ways. Number 1 in memes. Number 2 in complaints. Right. That's why you got the shaming tactics. You must be sweet. Your mama black. Like, they all say the same thing. Every conversation, whether it's a good convo or a bad convo, it's gonna go the exact same way. There's no delineation. There's no uniqueness. There's no universal what you're interested in, and she's interested in what you're interested in. As a matter of fact, if you talk, you might not score. You just got to shut up and look cute and be like, yeah, that's crazy. As soon as you like, you know what, but I like manga and anime. Oh my God, I can't be with you. You just got to shut up and be like, oh, that's crazy. Because all the conversations are the same. When I look at the chat, all the chat's the same. It's a bunch of, well, a couple of girls be cool, but most of the girls are like, oh my God, you tell them because you don't know what guys put women through. And I'm like, have you seen lesbians? Women can't deal with women. 1989, Al Bundy told you that. When Buzz said, Dad, I don't understand women, he said, don't worry about it, son. Women understand women and they hate each other. Like, y'all trying to get an understanding with people who don't want to understand it. All they understand is reward and penalty. That's what your employer give you, reward and penalty. You get there 6 minutes late, you get written up. That's a penalty. You do a great job, you get a bonus. That's a reward. People deal in reward and penalty. They don't deal in empathy and love. People hate their job and never be late for 21 years so they get to go watch. Love you and leave you. That's not how life work, bro. Life work on reward and penalty. Black men love, black men reward, black men don't penalize.
That's facts, though. Viz, I understood everything he said, bro, and I'm sticking with it. Like we pretend that love is grace. It's not.
So you said wait. So you said black men. You said black men don't penalize, or they do penalize?
We do, dog. We do not penalize, and in the eyes of our peers, we look weak for it. We let anything slide. Usher can grind up on a bunch of wives, and we all gonna laugh and make parody videos. It make us look weak compared to our other counterparts. The strongest man, the strongest man is the one that not only corrects his woman, but also gains the compliance after the fact. You know exactly why all these women following him. None of them talk till they sit down. Till he sit down, he's sitting in his top end of the table. That's respect. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't have that respect right now. They want to sit at the top of the table. So I understood everything.
Not only do you not penalize women, you penalize men that penalize women.
Yep.
You'll attack your sister's boyfriend because she crying. He ain't did nothing to her. He just hurt her feelings. And I get him. You penalize men for women's deficiency and then blame men for not being man enough when you're stopping them from penalty, because penalty is love.
Preach.
So what exactly
that sounds
that even?
Yeah, I'm
You ever play sports
on that, bro?
You ever play sports, bro?
Of course.
Okay. I play basketball and football, right? If I mess up, the coach don't kick me off the team because I'm a good player. He see the talent in me. You know what I got to do? Suicide forever.
Right.
Penalty. And then I still got to practice with the team, and I still got to know the plays. And if I don't know the plays, you know what I got to do? Suicides forever. Penalty.
Right.
So what does penalty look like? What does penalty look like for women that aren't covered by us? What does a penalty look like?
They're not covered by you. They're not your people. Look, bro.
What my point is, the example that you gave, that wasn't given a penalty. You just admitted that regardless of you listening to what she was saying, and it's the same conversation, you still cracked her. So where's the penalty in that?
But I didn't cuff her. A lot of girls is effable. A lot of them ain't cuffable.
It don't matter if you didn't cuff her. So to me, it doesn't matter if you cuffed her or not. The fact that you cracked her, you know what I'm saying? That says more than you cuffing her.
No, I don't. How? I like crack girls don't know her names. I'll be like, man, shorty from the club. It don't take nothing. I'm a dude. I don't gotta know your name.
I said this on a previous live. As the old saying goes, when you lie with dogs, you get fleas. So if you cracking just anything, then that says a lot about you. If you cracking something that you know that you should be penalizing, that says a lot about you, G. So I think that's not a good message to push out.
Let me ask you a question.
To try to use.
No. It's great. You just like girls too much. If I go play basketball,
I like girls. That don't have shit to do with me
you
like girls.
You don't
That's
like,
just me
I like
using
sex.
my
You
brain.
like girls. It's different.
I'm using logic. I go off logic.
I logic it out. I'm trying to mansplain it to you. Okay.
No, don't mansplain it. Just explain. Just say it as it is.
Basketball. If I go to the court to play basketball, my aim is to play basketball. I don't care who at the court. Choose me. Be first, second, third pick. It don't matter. I'm going to run until I lose, and then I'm going to go home. I'm not thinking about what they do for a living. I don't care about their name. I came to play for a minute, enjoy myself, and go home. I'm not trying to make lifelong friends at a pickup basketball game. Like I'm not trying to make lifelong friends for a drink and an IHOP date. Because I met somebody at the club whose name I ain't going to remember.
Yeah, so
cuffing is different, bro. When you're hunting for sport, and hunting for food is two different hunts.
See, but that's part of the problem when you hunting instead of courting. So if you hunting, you part of the
you add into the
yeah,
problem.
you add to
No,
the
okay, let me ask you a
yeah,
question.
you are
No,
because now
okay.
we got what if we run into them and now they all because of like no, bro, we can't be doing that, bro.
Sure, I can. Let me explain something to you. You know the same way that you know who you're going to like within 3 minutes, and you know where you're going to put them in 3 minutes. Every salesperson knows that. It's the 33-30 rule. You got 30 seconds for an intro, 3 minutes to do your sales pitch, 30 seconds to close. People ain't gonna keep the door open all day. You got that. That's life. And then in the interim of this is what courting is. Courting is getting to know somebody based on their character and integrity. This is what hunting is. I saw a girl on the bus stop. She looked cute. I pulled up and said, "Yo, ma, how you doing? You need a ride." Right now, that's how everything starts. It starts off physical attraction. You start off hunting, courting comes later based on what she says, not based on because you have to go out there and put yourself out there. Based on how she reacts, you'll know what type of sale you got. You know what I mean? You'll know if this is a long term, if they're trying to get a $200 limit, or if they're trying to pay a 6-year note on some quality stuff. You know what type of person they are when the conversation happens. But I've already stopped the car at the bus. So either way, you get in this car, whether or not you get in the car twice, that's based on the conversation you have when you get on the car.
But gee, where's the penalty in that though?
There's no.
You're not penalizing them. You know that contradicts your entire argument.
Let me say, because when you say the word penalty, we got to give it just a little bit of context, because I agree with everything he's saying. Like I said, we don't give penalties, but it's because we give too much attention. Attention is the drug. Attention is to women what sex is to men, and we give too much attention to any woman, shaking her ass, doing anything. Starve them of your attention. Like, I don't think many of our women know rejection at all. It's like that's why it's easy to shame us into submission with your mama black, right? So that's the one thing that's a penalty for them, letting them know that I'm only associating within my class group. If you don't behave appropriately, this is the problem I got at work. All right, Viz, I cannot stand when educated black women mention race at work. I want to turn my camera off. The same thing they do here with the essay and the abuse, they do it to hijack conversations in directors' meetings. Well, you wouldn't understand because you're not a black woman. I'd be like, oh, shut up. So this happened to me last week with our newest employee. Our newest employee came in there, hijacked it, and did that. Right? So now she's trying to be all chummy with me. We black people, we got to stick together, all that type of shit. I ain't with it. I told her I wasn't down to meet and click up in that little thing that she's doing because I don't get down like that in the workspace. You see what I'm saying? I don't do that. And until she's ready to communicate with me in a different way, I will not be giving you my attention because that stuff is immature. We don't do it. We're professionals here first, right? So I had to isolate her in that way. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. And then she asked somebody else to ask me what the hell went on, and I told the person what happened. I didn't like what she did in that meeting, and she's not about to create this little black circle of trust where we all look like we isolating everybody else from speaking their mind. That's a penalty. So that's what I'm saying. Anytime somebody does something you don't like, give them a penalty. Reject them, and they'll learn.
Mike, I agree. I agree with that, but that's not what folks was just saying. That wasn't the analogy that he just used.
Let me help you out. In a relationship, because I was talking about busing. In a relationship, I penalize, right? I need to know where you are. If you weren't there, sanctions will happen, right? You won't be able to go to wherever you want to go this Friday. Or man, you know that person you thought you wanted, you don't really want that. Penalty, man. If I have to feed myself outside of this house, then man, we have a due date as this, and this. There's a penalty system that keeps everything flowing because people are creatures of habit. How do you know When somebody cheating, they get home an hour later than they usually get home. You're like, yo, where were you at for an hour? You out of your routine. People like creatures of habit. You give people habits, and then when they get outside of what you need them to do and what you need them to be, there's a you know what's crazy? Women penalize men all the time. All the time. They physically or verbally abuse you. They withhold your child from you. They sanction you for money. They shame you. Women penalize men all the time. You're like, okay. As soon as a man like, you know what? I ain't going, not at gunpoint. I gotta go. I'm in Chicago. I gotta go past real life sociopaths every day. You think I'm out here dealing with dudes with switches and I'm gonna come home and you gonna say what to me? No, not at all.
In Chicago, they might have a switch too. I'm in the shot. They might have a switch too.
That's why you need to penalize them the quickest, because once they get out their body, bro, next thing you know, and there's no excuse, right? If I touch a girl, there's no excuse, right? But if she touch me, it's PTSD, it's postpartum syndrome, I'm on my period. They can't even take penalty when they do wrong. There's no effective penalty to correct behavior. You gotta love them through it.
Is repercussion a better word to use?
Repercussions is like an instant thing, but there's no penalty in general, right? If you can't read but you got good ovaries, we'll give you a house, right? There's no penalty for anything that. So the conversation is a moot conversation because you're talking to people that's damn near omnipotent.
Well, yeah, that goes back to my point though. That's why I think that focusing on men is the most important part.
I agree with that. But if you focus on men, you got to love your brothers as you love yourself. If you focus on men, then you got to help your brothers out, because men operating, you show me 5 dudes with matching t-shirts, I'll show you a bunch of girls chasing them. You ain't even got to look for a girl, and they'll fall in line. People do it all the time. You want to be a Mason, they want to be Eastern Stars. You want to be an Alpha, they want to be AKA. You know what I'm saying? And then they try to invade yourself. Eventually, you want to be Boy Scout, they want to be a Girl Scout. Then they be like, I think I want to be a Boy Scout too. And then you got to allow that, because there's no penalty like that. Whenever men do, because women don't really create anything. Anytime men do something, women want to be a part of something bigger that men do.
That's facts.
So you can really ignore women, period, and get the right women for you because you and your guys got their own little system going. But that's not what black men do, because they don't unite. The only people that unite are gangs and Greeks. Everybody else is, I'm just trying to, and y'all think it's an accomplishment to have a woman. I've been on panels with dudes who told me I'm married to a black woman.
It ain't an accomplishment to have a woman, bro.
No. 52% of the nation is women, bro.
Hey, Dirty, before we get up out of here, because we nearing that time, but I want to get your thoughts on, do black men secretly resent black women? What are your thoughts about that?
No. I think that black men openly worship black women.
And when you say that, it's because of the praising and indulging in the promiscuous behavior and all these other things.
I say that because, generally speaking, black men are very intelligent people until you add a woman, and then y'all get dumb because you worship the woman to the point that when I say things like 90% of things you call white supremacy is really black women, and then people say, well, you get the mind twist you got to go through to blame white supremacy for your girl taking your kid. Nobody else girl took their kid. They got the same social services. The way y'all twist things to say, man, men need penis discipline, but 55% of black men don't even have kids, and 30% of black men are with their kids, and the other bottom 20%, them the dudes that got 9 kids by 9 women. You wouldn't hang out with them anyway. So 80% of men doing exactly what they're trying to do, and man, because if men had better discipline, then women wouldn't have 7 kids by 9 men, because you got to count the 2 abortions, right? No, look, y'all twist things so wild. It got to be worship, because it take all logic and rational thought out the picture.
Yeah, they say they pull up the incarceration too. said we incarcerated. There ain't no good men out here, and I'm like, the fuck,
bro. Incarceration. Look, let me tell you something. Every girl I know with a master's degree is dating a felon. So you went to college for 6 years, couldn't find no dude that could read in college with you in class. You have to come home and catch somebody fresh home on parole and need somewhere to go.
They like the bad boys, man.
Right. You can't stop them from wanting Arthur Fonzarelli. That's not a black man problem. That's every girl want a felon, a gay best friend, and a poodle in her purse. That's them. Ain't got nothing to do with me knowing how to read. Matter of fact, if when I'm not dirty folks on my regular day, man, I sold a couple bestsellers. Girls come to me like, oh my God, I'm a sapiosexual. I love guys that know how to write. And then they try to do some old hoods because they think if you smart, you not hood. I'm from the south side of Chicago, Inglewood, so they ain't going. Or if they see me on some dirty folks, they be like, oh my God, I can outsmart them because I went to college. So I went to college, but I don't talk like it because I already know that you only sleep with me because you don't sleep with guys that know how to read. That's why it's easier to dumb down than it is to act smart.
You always hear the excuses though, because it's like they'll say things like, "Oh, well, you know, black men, they swing any other way." That's false. That's false. When you talk about black men are, incarcerated, 1 in 55. So if you got 200, you got 100 men over here standing over here. You got like 2 of them. You still got 98 to play with, right? So it's not even what people are trying to project it to be. They take the worst outliners and present them as if that's the norm. So there's plenty of available black men who are ready to start families. It's just a matter of if you on that frequency for you to be able to obtain one. Are you doing your part to actually find one, or are you just waiting to you waiting for it to just happen, and you not putting yourself in position? You feel so entitled sometimes that it's just like, okay, well, damn, I deserve one. I should have one. One should come save me. One should come get me. And if as men, if we have things that we do in our lives that require consequences, like if I go, knock somebody out today, or steal something from I robbed a convenience store, I'm gonna have to pay for that, and that I'm gonna have to wear that jacket for the rest of my life. There's no escaping it. I'm a felon forever, and I have to deal with those consequences. For some instances, there's certain complexes I can't move into, and certain jobs I will never ever be able to obtain, and there's certain women that ain't gonna want to be bothered with me. So, as women, you have to understand that you're gonna be held liable for the choices that you make early. If I make these mistakes that I just described at 18 years old, even though I was younger, even though I'm reformed, to a certain extent, life is going to be more difficult, and I'm going to have to be a hell of a man to be able to get out of that. So if you've made these type of mistakes, then you have to do your damnedest to become a hell of a woman to be able to get out of that rut that you're in.
I want to say something real quick, and I'm a dip out, man, and I appreciate you letting me slide up with people. I'm reading the comment sections ago. Whole time I came up here, I talked about penalty, which is a man thing, holding people, loving your brother as you love yourself. 5 men in matching t-shirts, you don't have to worry about it, they'll follow you. Everything I said is men-centric. I literally call women toddlers on my channel because women and children are the same thing. That's why y'all always put together in a sentence. And I think that black men are horrible patriarchs. Y'all bad toddlers, y'all little 2-year-old kids that kick people in the knee and run. But I didn't blame anything on women. I consistently blame men. I say, man, y'all don't check women, but y'all check men over women. I've been constantly, and then the first thing it says, oh, another dude that hate black women. This is why these conversations don't work. Women have horrible comprehension skills, bro. They don't understand how words work. So to have dialogue with them makes no sense. Penalty works, dialogue doesn't. Reward, penalty. Dialogue doesn't work because they don't understand words. But everybody a narcissist, they understand words. So because the comprehension isn't there, the communication can be there. So no matter how much they say, man, communication is the most important thing, you can't communicate with a person that can't comprehend.
So I got a question, and I'll just for clarity, G. How are you saying that men should check women?
Do you believe in love
or
language?
penalize them.
Do you believe in love language?
And who?
Love language. Do you believe everybody has a love language?
Of course, yeah.
Look at how she treats other people, and that's her penalty. Is she a person that cuts people off? Is she a person that puts her kids on timeout? Is she a person that whips a kid in aisle 5 of Walmart? Whatever her definition of penalty is that she evokes on other people, that's her penalty. She won't like it. She'll complain because she wouldn't want a person to do to her what she does to other people. But don't worry about that because that's her love language. She'll tell you what it is. There's no unilateral thing. Like, know your audience. Men know women. That's why we hunt women. Men know women. Look at her. She'll let you know her love language. Her story will tell you about everything. She'll tell you. She'll tell you. Her kids will tell you. Somebody will tell you. Her brother, her little brother will tell you. Somebody will tell you what her love language is.
All right, guys, we're gonna get to the last of these super chats. No, I'm just kidding. You muted, JR.
Casey, $10. Thank you, sir. Happy birthday to my big brother in Nigeria. JR, we love you, brother. The LGBOs are proud of you. Thank you. Gina, $7.89. $10. Happy birthday, JR. And Jay Stevens, $10. Happy birthday. Mr. Lapeef. I want to thank everybody for their contributions and all the warm wishes on my B-Day, which was Saturday. Thank everybody for coming out tonight, man. I seen some of the panel members and the regular folks in the chat. Salute to you. Catching the replay, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's make sure we support each other. Check out everybody's Instagram and YouTube. Subscribe, likes, and share. Darwin Express Day is dropping a video this Thursday. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. Trey Smooth also got some uploads that he recently that is fantastic as well. Make sure y'all support. Thank you, Bearded Conversations, for coming up. Y'all looking for them weddings to be filmed. Y'all make sure y'all check out Viz and M White. He's just all around, man. You're looking to get dunked on. Oh, you say you ain't dunking no more, huh? You just doing a fadeaway like Mike?
He probably could shoot the 3 though.
Yeah. Like I'm kind of looking to see M White and Darwin up on the 1-on-1 Saturday go down.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. Hard pause.
1-on-1 basketball, man.
We got you know.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, I think I can back him down and dunk on him. Pause.
Pause. Hey, man. Yo.
Put him in the
Yo, chill out.
Let it go.
That's it, bro. I don't know, y'all.
I appreciate y'all. Hit that like button. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel.